Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees cocaine used in all the right ways in Cocaine Bear, hitting store shelves along with one last ride for dancing and half-naked men in Magic Mike's Last Dance. A little bit of detective mystery drama goodness in Marlow. 4K upgrade love for cinema classics like Rebel Without a Cause. And Kino Lorber is releasing a 4K edition of the Al Pacino classic Serpico. Plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got.
All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and I do believe we have new release love we're checking out. Oh, indeed we do. For instance, a cocaine rage-fueled bear? Damn, man. The shit you never think you ever see in your life, but you're glad you did. Oh, yes, we have a cocaine bear. The Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.96. The DVD for $17.96. Oh, and by the way, it's the Maximum Rampage edition. Yeah. And I gotta admit, it is a really great cover, man, with all the cocaine around and the bear just roaring like a motherfucker. That's so great, man. That's so cool. Oh, man. Well, you pretty much know what you're getting with this, don't you? Oh, you do indeed, man. And I got a chance to watch it in the movie theaters with John because, dude, we saw the trailer and we were down for this crazy shit. And we were like, okay, a bear hopped up on cocaine attacking people. It's not every day you see that in the movie theater, so we got to go, baby. We did. So we paid the money. We went on the big screen to see this rampaging bear and all the crazy hijinks that happen. And indeed, that's pretty much what you're getting with this movie ultimately, guys, is you are getting a plane full of drugs that ends up going into the woods. The bear eats some of the cocaine, and the bear ends up basically rampaging like a motherfucker, and all of the crazy wild complications that go from there. That's pretty much ultimately what you're getting, man, with this. And the crazy wild characters and the scenarios, you name it, dude. Pretty much the name kinda says it all. Alright, it really does, dude. And when watching this movie, I gotta tell you, man, John was having an absolute awesome time watching this movie, man. He was grinning from ear to ear. He was loving everything with this movie, and I was loving some of it, not all of it, man. All the stuff with the bear and the rampaging around and the killing and the blood and gore stuff, the maiming of the people, all great, dude. I mean, all that stuff is solid. It basically is the premise itself, man, just right in your face. I loved it. All the crazy hilarity of that, it works, man. I think what ultimately doesn't work is a lot of these side stories and side characters and some of the more schmaltzy moments that, yeah, I don't know, it just felt like this movie just didn't really need, man. The whole thing with the mother and the daughter, and the daughter goes missing and the mother has to find her and everything, I'm like, that really doesn't pay off in the movie, man. I mean, it kind of does, but it was kind of superficial. You didn't really need it. There was a lot of different characters here that came and went that really didn't make a dent in the storyline. You didn't really care whether they lived or died. They were just fodder for the bear. I mean, that's fine, but it would have been nice if I actually gave a shit about people. I mean, even weird things like the cop. The whole thing of, like, leaving his dog behind and not caring about the dog and then suddenly caring about it, and the quirkiness behind it is like, what did that have to do with the fucking movie? I mean, seriously, what did any of that fucking storyline really have to do with a rampaging bear that's killing people and them having to stop it? Really, seriously, if you can explain that to me, I'd really like to know, man, because it makes no fucking sense to me. Like I said, I like the idea behind the movie. I like the premise. And when they really go for it, where it's really like attacking people and just hopped up on cocaine and just unstoppable, it's pretty good. There's like one sequence which encapsulates it perfectly with the ambulance and them trying to get away and the bear just jumping towards the ambulance. I mean, that is a wild sequence, which is fucking phenomenal, man. I wish most of the movie was like that, but it really isn't. You're with these stupid side characters that really don't mean a fucking thing to the plot. Little side stories with the mother and daughter that honestly is not really developed enough, and it's just kind of a hodgepodge of shit thrown together, and some of it works and honestly some of it doesn't. Does that mean that the movie is worthless? No, there's some really fantastic sequences in here, some crazy wow moments that you have to see to believe, baby. It is pretty solid of a movie, just I wanted it to be better. I wanted it to be this crazy, balls out, ridiculous movie that is like no holds barred, man. And we just didn't get that. And I kind of felt like at times they kind of played it safe. They had to play it a little schmaltzy at times, and they couldn't really go for the throat the way they really wanted to, which is a shame. There is moments where Cocaine Bear really, honestly, truly works, man. And then there's moments where it kind of falls flat on its ass. I had a good time with the movie, but it wasn't perfect, and I was hoping for a perfectly insane, crazy, ridiculous ride of a movie, and it only got halfway there. Shame, because it could have been really fucking phenomenal, absolutely amazing, slightly underwhelms, slightly does its due diligence, and is just a little above average. Well, for a Cocaine Bear, what were you really expecting? A murder, a blonde, and a detective that's way over the hill. Yeah, it must be Marlow. Oh, jeez. The DVD for $17.96. Ah, yes. Liam Neeson is back in a little bit of neo-noir love. Oh, man. Diane Kruger, Jessica Lange alongside him. Oh, yes. More noir goodness, baby. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to because, look, I've always loved Liam Neeson, and even though Liam Neeson is not what Liam Neeson used to be, and some of those movies that he's making are not really as good as they claim to be, I'm still a sucker, I'm still watching the goddamn stuff, and so I thought to myself, okay, you got Liam Neeson here. I like Liam Neeson. A lot of other actors that I really like. On top of that, noir. I love classic old school noir stuff. Some of the new school stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe, kinda, sorta, I'll give it a chance. So indeed, yeah, I kinda did, man. And basically, it's about Marlow, played by Liam Neeson. It's set in the 1930s. He's this detective, is kind of out of work, this private eye. And this woman, oh, blonde, gorgeous woman, comes in and tries to find her ex-missing lover. And all the complications and craziness that go along with there, baby. Yeah, you know how noirs work, man. And ready, set, well, Liam Neeson's gonna kick somebody's ass, I suppose. Well, at least he's gonna try. Oh, man. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I love noir movies, I was still apprehensive because, look, Liam Neeson's track record as of recent hasn't been the best, so I was like, dude, I don't know how this is gonna be. And to be perfectly honest, I think my fears were ultimately proven right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. It's not terrible, okay? As far as a Liam Neeson movie is concerned, I mean, it's a little better than some of those he's trying to kick everyone's ass, all of these martial arts and big tough dudes out there, and trying to buy the believability of that. It's better than some of those, man, but I kind of feel like it's not as good as what it should be. I mean, it's based off of a series of books with this Marlow detective character, which I've never read, but I've heard they're actually pretty good, very classic books out there. And I like the idea of a neo-noir detective movie at the end of the day, which sounds kind of cool and interesting, and I've always dug those type of films one way or another. But it all felt kind of predictable, matter-of-fact, not very exciting, and it felt like it was kind of miscast, because as much as I love Diane Kruger here, I didn't really buy her in the femme fatale role that she's trying to play, and neither did I really believe Liam Neeson. The Marlow character is supposed to be, at least in the books, in 40s or 50s, and Liam Neeson is well into his 70s, and I just don't buy this guy anymore being this hard-edged detective, man. If anything, especially in the 1930s, him in the 70s, dude, he'd either be dead or he'd be in the fucking retirement home wasting away. Okay, I'm just being real, dude. And this is the honest truth, man. Like, I just don't buy him in this role. He's way over the hill to play this character, to play this tough guy detective that's past his prime. I mean, yeah, Liam Neeson is past his prime, so I guess that part's accurate, but I don't know. He just didn't exude the Marlow detective character to me, man. It just kind of felt like everyone was going through the motions. It wasn't all that exciting to me. I mean, some of the actors fare better than others, like Jessica Lange. Jessica Lange is always solid in no matter what she does, and here she proves it yet again, man. And I like the setting, and I like the set dressing, and I like the old school Hollywood feel of him trying to find out this murder mystery in this Hollywood setting. Like, all that is very cool, but I just felt it could have been done much better, man. If this was an old school movie from back in the day, or if it was a better cast, maybe it would have worked out a hell of a lot better than it did. I don't know, man. Like I said, I didn't hate the movie, and I thought it was average at best. I liked some of the dialogue, I liked some of the interactions with some of the actors, but I don't know, it just didn't really feel right to me. It didn't feel gritty or hard-hitting or entertaining, on the edge of my seat. I knew where everything was going. I knew the guy wasn't actually dead and he faked his death and all of the Hollywood bullshit involved. I mean, I could see that shit coming a mile away, man. And it just didn't really engage me as much as I wanted it to, man. It was kind of a bore. The movie went on for way too long. It felt like it was spinning its wheels. It's kind of a shame, man, because this could have been really good, man. This could have been a really great neo-noir detective flick, man, that it really puts you on the edge of your seat. A great thrill ride. And it's anything but. Shame. Another less than stellar Liam Neeson movie? Yeah, better than some of the other Drek he's done? Sure, but ultimately as good as some of the earlier stuff he's done? Absolutely not. This is the last dance, smash my last dance for love. It is the Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.96. Oh, the DVD for $17.96. I don't know why I'm singing Donna Summer, but let's just go with it, cause it's Magic Mike's last dance. I know, you were impressed, and quite frankly, so was I. Oh yes, Magic Mike's last dance, baby. Oh my god, another Magic Mike movie. Wait a minute, this is a fucking trilogy? What the fuck? Holy hell, man. You know, back when I saw the first Magic Mike all those years ago, I was never thinking trilogy. Gee, I kind of wonder why. Oh, my lord, man, the final tease. Yeah, you bet your ass it is, man. So, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and my girlfriend kind of watched moments of it. She was pretty much watching the semi-naked guys dancing around. And then I was looking at my sad sack of a body, and I'm like, God damn, man, I really gotta hit that gym hard. Oh, jeez. To compete with these motherfuckers, I really gotta do it, man. But yet another venture into the adventures of a good old Magic Mike, man. Stripper love brought to its thrilling conclusion, I suppose, man. I mean, I wanted to kind of watch it in the movie theater and kind of not, because I was like, did we really need to make another Magic Mike movie? Really? I mean, like I said, I love that first movie, man. That first movie is really fantastic. I still love the humor and the dancing and the characters. It's really well done, dude. And then the second movie, Magic Mike XXL, I wasn't as big of a fan of. Like, I thought there were moments in the movie that I liked, but it just kind of felt like very unneeded. And so after that didn't do quite as well at the box office, I was like, okay, well, maybe they're just done with it, right? Hey, they tried doing a second film because the first one was so popular, it didn't quite go as well as they wanted to. Some people, to be fair, really like Magic Mike XSL. I'm not a huge fan of it. But again, it didn't do quite as well as the first Magic Mike. It was a little bit of diminishing returns, but apparently there's enough of a Magic Mike fan base out there that they wanted one last ride. So, hey, I guess strap on whatever jock strap you got, put on the discotheque lights, and let's get going, baby. Oh, indeed, man. I mean, basically, this is about Magic Mike, who's kind of just doing bartending jobs, side jobs here and there, not really dancing anymore, and he gets the attention of this woman played by Selma Hayek, and they have a night of dancing and passion, and she's like, look, I think you have a lot of talent. I mean, yes, in the bedroom, clearly, but also as a dancer, and I want to do this great stage show, and I want you to choreograph it, and I want this to be this one magical event and just really change people's lives forever. And so he goes on this adventure with this woman putting on this ultimate men's dancing stage show and all of the crazy hijinks that kind of go along with that, man. And I got to admit, overall, I thought the movie was okay. I didn't love the movie. I like some of the stuff in it. Like, I really love Selma Hayek, man. I've always been a fan of Selma Hayek, and I just love her again in this movie, man. She is so great. She just has this great sexuality to her, then, that she just exudes. And not only that, but she also happens to be a really great actress as well. I do like Channing Tatum here. I think he is very good playing the Mike character, and I like his sarcastic charm and his sense of humor that he has, and I think it works for this movie, and the chemistry that he has with Selma Hayek is really electric. It's fantastic, and I do really like that. And some of the side characters aren't half bad either, not incredibly well fleshed out, but they kind of do the trick for what it's worth. When you have all of the male dancers that are doing the stage show that barely ever get any screen time outside of being half naked and dancing, which I guess for my girlfriend was just enough anyways. Of course it was. Okay. Yeah, again, about that gym thing, I really got to get down to that, baby. I mean, Jesus, man. I guess I just got to hop over to the sporting goods section and get me some 5-pound weights. You got to start somewhere. You really do, man. But I like this dancing. I like the stage show stuff, the vibrancy of it. I love all that stuff, man. It's expertly well done. I thought the choreography is phenomenal, amazing as always in these Magic Mike movies, no doubt about it. But it just kind of felt a little lackluster to me. I mean, this is supposed to be a trilogy, man, and at the end of the day, what really ultimately makes this a trilogy worth really diving into, man? I mean, do you really get a better understanding of Magic Mike's journey, of the goals he was trying to go for in his life, and ultimately what he was striving for? I mean, do you really ultimately feel that this movie was really needed? Was anybody really asking for this ultimately? And I don't know if they were, man. It kind of felt like a last gasp of a franchise that was trying to continue and try to finish one last time. Like, oh, remember the good old days when we were stripping? Yeah, that was good, man. We had such great bodies. How about we relive it just one more time? I mean, that's kind of how it felt, man. I just felt like, yes, as good as Channing Tatum is in the movie, he is kind of a side character in this thing. I mean, it's called Magic Mike's Last Dance, but he's not really the main focus of this movie. It's more Selma Hayek than anything else. It's not really the Magic Mike journey, ultimately. Yes, he gets some really great moments, some really great, wonderful dance sequences to shine, especially towards the end of the movie, man. He has this incredible sexually charged dance sequence with this woman that, my God, man, they're practically humping on the stage. Wow, it was incredible, man. I mean, my girlfriend couldn't take her eyes off it. God, more than shit I gotta live up to. Fucking hell, man. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's really great moments in the movie, but it doesn't really come together. The story doesn't ultimately work, and it doesn't really feel like a great closing chapter of the Magic Mike journey. It just feels like a stop along the way, man. And I don't know, I wasn't nearly as excited about it as I was the first Magic Mike. The characters aren't as vibrant or colorful as the original Magic Mike. Hell, it's not even really as good as Magic Mike XXL, man. I mean, even some of the players from the last two movies, they do very brief, like less than 2 or 3 minute cameo, and that's about it, man. They're not even in this thing. They get barely even a mention, which kind of sucks. I mean, you're bringing in all new characters, all new situations, and you barely actually have the guy that really is the main focal point of this really being the star of this. It's more of the Selma Hayek show than anything else. I mean, again, she's incredible, she's gorgeous, she's absolutely beautiful, she's a great actress, but it doesn't ultimately come together at the end of the day. Like I said, the dance sequences are amazing, and if you're just watching this for the dance sequences, then man, you are getting your money's worth. But if you actually want a great, entertaining, engaging story, I hate to say it, but you're not really gonna get it. You know, you can have all the great dance sequences in the world, you can get half naked all you want, Lord knows my girlfriend appreciates it, but as far as a really great Magic Mike journey, just stick with the first movie. That's all you really ever need. And if all you really want is the trilogy set, well, they do have the DVD 3 film collection for $22.96 as well. Now, look, I know that these movies aren't exactly the best when it comes to story. They're not Oscar-worthy material, and pretty much it's just semi-naked dudes dancing around and, you know, getting with good-looking chicks, which is not a bad thing, but I kind of feel with each film, it's kind of got lesser and not nearly as entertaining or good. Once the first movie came out, the premise was there, and they really fulfilled that in the best way possible, and every other film kind of felt like they were aping off of the same thing, just not doing it half as good. You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting trilogy, probably not anywhere near the best of trilogies, but for women looking for half-naked men dancing, I suppose it's the trilogy for you. I suppose indeed, man. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, I'll always love the first film for what it's worth, man. Not half bad with that, but from one love scenario to the next with maybe I do. The DVD for $12.96, man. Look at this cast. Diane Keaton, Richard Gere, Susan Sarandon, Emma Roberts, William H. Macy. Dude, these are classy actors, baby, in a new romantic comedy on DVD. But is it any good? Well, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and to be fair, I don't know if I was really looking forward to it, because I was like, you know, these actors have done better stuff. I love Diane Keaton, but she's done way better movies in the past. Love Richard Gere, but he ain't exactly, you know, doing the most extraordinary shit anymore. The same with Susan Sarandon and William H. Macy. Hell, even Emma Roberts, man. I mean, gosh, she's still young in her career, and boy, she's kind of like a has-been nowadays. Fucking hell, dude. So I'm like, I don't know, man. How good is this thing really gonna ultimately be? But I gotta admit, I was pleasantly surprised, man. Basically, Richard Gere and Diane Keaton are a married couple. William H. Macy and Susan Sarandon, they're a married couple. And Emma Roberts and her good old loving boyfriend there, they're a couple. And so it's basically the lives of all of these individuals, all the crazy hijinks that they go through, and how it ultimately comes together in the end. Sleeping with each other, cheating, embracing marriage, not embracing it enough, sick and tired of it, and learning relationships and love along the way. Yeah, that old chestnut. Well, you know how these movies roll, baby. And would this one be any different? I mean, seriously, I was apprehensive because, look, I've watched a lot of romantic comedies of late that aren't nearly as good as what they claim to be, so what is this really gonna do any better than all the rest of them? And once I started to watch it, ain't gonna lie, those fears faded away pretty goddamn quickly, man. In fact, I almost damn near love this movie. I'm dead serious, man. This is a really solid movie. I loved the acting. I loved the chemistry with these characters. I love the charm of this movie. I love how they talk about relationships and love and the concepts of love and their opinions of it. Man, I thought this was a really quirky and lovely movie. I mean, seriously, I really did, man. These actors are so great in this movie, man. And every time that I was watching them on screen, I was just reminded how great all of these actors are if they're given the right roles, man. For example, look at a movie like Ticket to Paradise with Clooney and Roberts, and that was supposed to be really funny and charming and have really great likability to it, but I gotta admit, it came off as awkward and kind of lame and boring, and the chemistry between Clooney and Roberts, which should be absolutely dynamic, kind of turned into a farce, man, and it didn't really work. But here, these actors are so comfortable in their roles, and even when their marriage is on the rocks, like William H. Macy and Susan Sarandon's is, you still really get some great fun dialogue, and you can really see the passion in their eyes and how they're really great working together, man. You can really see it all coming together and working, man. And it just really depends on the movie and the moment and the actors that you get and the chemistry and the charm that they exude. And these actors do it brilliantly, man. They are in their absolute element in this movie, and it works. It does, man. It's sarcastic. It's funny. It has some really wonderful, heartwarming moments. I mean, man, I was not expecting it to be half as good as what it was, and it really surprised me, man. Seeing these old school actors in their element, really enjoying playing off of one another, is just a pure joy to watch. It is so damn enjoyable. This is seriously, a real surprise for me, man. And if you're having a night in with your spouse or your loved one, friends over, and want a good old school feeling romantic comedy, and you're thinking, oh, geez, I could do Ticket to Paradise, or I could do Maybe I Do. Please do Maybe I Do, because it is that damn good, man. Maybe I Do, more like hell yes I do, because it's so damn good and so damn enjoyable, and you will get the old school vibes and feels off of this. Oh, man, this was pure entertainment for me. And damn, dude, do I miss a good old romantic comedy, and this definitely did the trick. Not bad at all, man. So goddamn enjoyable indeed. And you gotta love it. And oh, I absolutely did. Not bad, and not bad for the physical media new release love. Pretty damn sweet so far. I'm liking it. But is there anything else worth showing off? Well, you bet your ass there is. Oh yes, more new release love, more like indie oddities. Because damn, they're absolutely supplying it. Holy shit. I'm kind of liking it. Not bad, man. Let's dive in with, man, straight to DVD Westerns. Great, off to a wonderful start, aren't we? County Line, No Fear for $9.96. So, who's in this? Oh, Casper Van Dien. Great, so you know it's high quality. Yeah, about that. Hell, man. What the hell? Hopefully he's at least having a good time on screen, because I don't know if I'll be while watching this damn thing, but let's see what this is about, shall we? Shocking twist after twist in this action-packed thriller. Sheriff Alden Rockwell is ready to retire. Well, after you've been dealing with criminals and, gunfights, you want to retire when you're 30. But when a ruthless crime family moves to his county, he joins the neighboring county sheriff, Joe Porter, to take on the mob's vicious leader. Now Alden fights to keep his loved ones and the community he spent his life protecting out of harm's way. Yeah. Oh my God, Patricia Richardson is in this from Home Improvement? Holy shit, didn't she play the mom in Home Improvement? Oh my God, where the fuck has she been? Jesus Christ. Holy hell, man. Guys, you know what I think about Westerns. Look, I don't hate them. I have a lot of love for them from time to time, but to be fair, they're certainly not as good as they once used to be, man. I mean, there's still a good one ever so occasionally. There is. But for the most part, a lot of the straight-to-DVD ones just don't do it for me, and something tells me this won't either. Even the appeal of Casper Van Starship Troopers Dean is certainly not going to get me to watch this. But hey, if you are a lover of all things Western, this is another one to add to the list. I'll leave it in your capable hands and not in mine. When you're a badass, you'll always stay a badass in Transfusion. Yes, the DVD for $12.96. Ah, yes, a good old Sam Worthington, huh? Oh, baby, man. You know, I'm gonna be real, dude. I don't really think much of Sam Worthington. He's had a movie or two that I've kind of liked, but he's kind of like a poor man's Gerard Butler. But then again, Gerard Butler is like a poor man's Matt Damon or Bruce Willis or some shit. Like, literally, Sam Worthington is like a copy of a copy of a copy. So, you know, I've really never thought much of the dude overall, dude. I mean, he's had moments, but I'm like, man, there's other people that are way better than him, and he's just aping off of better badass actors. So, whatever, right? But, hey, if you can make a niche doing it, why the hell not, dude? But now he's doing a lot of these straight-to-DVD action flicks, which sometimes aren't nearly as good. So when I watched it on Amazon Prime, I was a little apprehensive, but I'm like, look, it's got a cool title like Transfusion, so fuck, why not give it a chance, man? And basically, he ends up playing this character, Ryan Logan, who is an ex-Special Forces operative, and this guy is a trained killer, man. And there's a tragedy that strikes with his pregnant wife and his young son, and what happens after that, where his wife ends up dying but the son lives, he basically spins out of control, man, and he basically leaves the Special Forces, and his son is spiraling out of control as well and getting into all kinds of trouble. About 7 or 8 years later, we pick up the story, and this guy is just really in dire straits, not only with money, but just his life in general and dealing with his kid. And he gets this opportunity from his former Special Forces friend who is like, hey, you can make some money helping me out. It might be a little shady, it might be a little wrong, but you are a killer. This is what you do. You are known for that. Why not finally use it again to your benefit? So he does, and all of the complications that go along with it. Oh, yes. You think you're out, but you never really are. Oh, never really are indeed, man. Now, I got to admit, like I said, you know, a lot of lackluster films Sam Worthington has done, man. But this one, actually, I kind of like. He's a soldier. He's a trained killer. He's doing these dead-end jobs where these people are just treating him like shit. And if they only knew that this guy could fucking snap their neck in a heartbeat, man, they'd never fuck with him. But he can't do that, man. Society won't let him. On top of that, his son is near delinquency, going to, you know, prison. And the idea that he's stuck between wanting to be this badass and wanting to be this loving father and protector, and the complications of that, dude, it's so well done, and Sam Worthington plays it so fantastically, man. He's really great in this role, man. And I can't say that with all Sam Worthington movies, but he really pulls it off here, man. And there is some really great moments where he gets to be a badass. And there's a scene with him and this father. So his son and some of his friends, they wrecked this car. They've been drinking. It was his son's fault, technically, and one of the fathers of one of the boys is like, look, I owned this car, I gotta turn it into the insurance company, and if I do, your son's going to go to jail. I don't care. I'm not gonna make a false claim. Your kid's going to jail. Fuck you, man. And so Sam Worthington is like, look, I will give you the money. Give me a few days, I will get it for you. And it goes to the whole, like, hey, my ex-Special Forces buddy is giving me the cash, so I gotta do some dirty work, etc., right? So he finally gets the money. He goes into this guy's car, in his backseat, hides. Guy comes out into the car. He's like, oh my God. I was like, where the fuck did you come from? And he's like, look, here's the money. It's in the glove compartment. This is not a recurring thing. This is a one-time thing. You got your money. If you want to try to come after me or my son again, I will fuck you up. Do not fucking test me. And he is so badass in that moment, dude. And it's a moment where you're like, dude, you're scared for this guy's life. You're like, dude, if this guy even fucking flinches, Sam Worthington is gonna fucking snap this dude's neck like a fucking twig, dude. I mean, seriously. He has some really great, dramatic, seriously badass moments here. And I love the complications of his ex-Special Forces buddy and the relationship that they have, and can he really trust him? And I think this is really well done, man. It has no right to be as good as it actually is. Is it a great movie? No, not necessarily, but it is above average. And for a Sam Worthington movie where most of his movies to me is lukewarm, this is a really great surprise, man. It's a really great dramatic turn for Sam Worthington. It's a really great complicated role for him. I love him playing the loving father, the complicated relationship with his son, the idea of the tragic past and how his army past is coming back to haunt him. Like, some really great stuff here. Dramatic moments with the kid and the father and his buddies, and some of the action stuff with the gunfights is really cool. It's a really solid film, man. And honestly, if you gave up on Sam Worthington, yeah, I can't quite blame you, because I did as well. But it's movies like Transfusion that make me want to give him a chance yet again. Sam Worthington finally has a movie that's worthy of his supposed talents. Well, it's about damn time.
It's time to offer your soul to evil in The Offering. The DVD for $9.96. Offer your soul up for that price? I consider that a steal. Oh, indeed I do, baby. Look at this. Ooh, I'm liking that cover, man. I'm getting the dingly creepy vibes just looking at it. Ooh, that's not bad. No soul is saved. You bet your ass, baby. Ooh, indeed. Oh, all of the scary, screaming goodness. Oh, what is this about? In the wake of a young Jewish girl's disappearance. Wait a minute. Is this a Jewish horror movie? What? Oh my God. Do my eyes deceive me? Holy shit. Wow, man. Okay. This Jew can definitely dig that, man. The son of a Hasidic funeral director returns home with his pregnant wife in hopes of reconciling with his father. Little do they know that directly beneath them in the family morgue, an ancient evil with sinister plans for the unborn child lurks inside a mysterious corpse. Yes. Oh my God. I can't believe this, man. Jewish horror. Oh, that is fucking awesome, man. God. You know, as a Jew, I kind of feel like horror has kind of passed us Jews by. Oh, you fucking Catholics and Christians are always getting the good shit, man. Seriously. And in fact, I was having a discussion with my friend like last night about this shit. About like, oh, well, you know, all of the crazy shit happens to the Christians. None of it happened to us Jews, man. Well, The Offering is about to prove me wrong. Oh, indeed it is, man. Guys, now you gotta remember, there isn't much really great Jewish horror out there. Actually, very few and far between. There's The Possession with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, which is not a bad movie. There's The Vigil, which actually is really creepy. If you ever get a chance to watch that, do it. There's a really great holiday slasher movie called Hanukkah, which almost nobody knows about, but I actually own on Blu-ray, man. It's a fun little slasher flick. It ain't half bad, man. There's not much really great Jewish horror out there because, I don't know, I guess it's not as trendy. Seriously, man, how can we get the Jews to trend more often? Seriously, man, and not fucking Jewish space lasers either. Get off with that shit, man. If we had Jewish space lasers, fuck, we'd rule the world a hell of a lot more than we do. Trust me, if I had a Jewish space laser, you think I would be doing these videos? Fuck, I'd be taking over the world like Dr. Evil, bitch. I mean, come on, man. Hell, dude. But I do feel like Jewish horror can be just as creepy as Christian Catholicism horror. It really can, and we have some really unique and interesting traditions that you can really turn on their head and really make horrific and creepy, man. You really could. And The Offering could prove that, well, Jewish horror could still be alive and well. Oh, indeed it could, man. Trust me, I've been a Jew all my life. I've seen some crazy and weird shit, and horror is just ripe for it, man. It really is. Ooh, creepiness with The Offering. More Jewish horror out there in the world. Consider me a very happy Jew. If a superior alien race can't kill a few kids, then they probably shouldn't visit Earth. I'm just saying, baby. Kids versus Aliens, the DVD for $9.96. Oh, man, all the crazy hijinks with this sumbitch. Oh, my God, man.
I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and oh, by the way, I watched it with my girlfriend, because out of all of the new releases this week, the ones that I watched, this is the one that she wanted to watch with me. Seriously, man. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, it's like 80 some odd minutes, and I can sit on the love seat with you. You know, we can just enjoy a nice little quick movie. Okay, fine, whatever, man. And that's what I kind of thought too. Okay, quick, easy, harmless. It's not gonna be that bad, right? Right? Yeah, about that. Ah, shit, man. Basically, this movie is about Gary. Yeah, the wonderful little mischievous boy, Gary, and his sister, and his cool friends, and they like making these mini movies together. These wild, crazy, you know, all wrestling and weird aliens and creatures fighting one another. And he thinks he has the coolest sister, he has the coolest life. And one day, his sister is kind of interested in this guy, a real douchebag motherfucker. And so suddenly, the life that he thought was really cool isn't really all that great. And on top of that, oh geez, aliens have kind of invaded our area. Shit. And just all of the weird hijinks that kind of go from there, man. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this could be kind of cool, man. It's from the director of Hobo with a Shotgun, and I think Hobo with a Shotgun is fucking awesome, man. It is brutal as shit. It is wild, ridiculous, over the top, and I fucking love every goddamn second of it. So I'm like, okay, the director of Hobo with a Shotgun doing kids versus aliens? Oh, that's gonna be some epic shit. At least I thought it was going to be, until I watched the goddamn movie. And that all washed away pretty fucking quickly, man. I mean, look, it's not a terrible movie, all things considered. There are things to kind of like in this movie. I really like the little kids in here, man. I really like that they're sarcastic and they say swear words, and you know, they're badass little kids. They don't really know how to be badass necessarily, but they're kind of trying for what it's worth, man. And I kind of like the kids, man. They're just cool and kick-ass and nerdy, and yeah, I dug them a lot, man. And then again, that might be the only thing I like in this movie is the kids. Shit, man. Everything else around this movie is cheap as shit, man. It is chintzy as a motherfucker. And not in a good way, dude. I mean, the aliens here look like paper mache costumes that were just strung together, man. I mean, seriously, it looks like they took the leftovers from the X-Files series and just was like, oh, yeah, geez, we can't upgrade them, so, fuck it. I mean, seriously, it looked fucking terrible, man. I mean, even the spaceship looks fucking god-awful. Oh man, it just is so fucking cheapo, dude. I mean, it looks like basically cardboard strung together with a little bit of lighting effect to kind of make it look somewhat good. I mean, maybe a wooden board here and there with a little bit of dry ice attached to it. I mean, it's not really all that believable. It just felt like with the costumes or some of the sets outside of the house, it's like, okay, well, we have a certain amount of budget. Anybody up for a trip to Party City? Hey? I mean, it looks so bad, dude. Oh, man, the believability was shit. I was actually in the kitchen, and I had missed the alien reveal, and I said to my girlfriend, oh, did they show the aliens? And my girlfriend's like, yeah. Oh, man, I gotta go back and see what the reveal is. And my girlfriend's like, you really don't want to. I was like, no, I do. She's like, no, you really don't. And so I said, screw it, I'm going to go back and look anyways. And when I did, and I finally saw what the reveal of the aliens was, I was like, oh my god. Oh, yeah, maybe you were right. Maybe I shouldn't have gone back and looked at these goddamn aliens. I seriously have seen better stuff in shot-on-video films than I have in this sumbitch. And that's pretty fucking sad. It really is. On top of that, it just doesn't really have time to ever develop. You don't really ever get to know the kids enough. And even some of the subplots are just stupid. Why are they there, man? The whole douchebag, boyfriend, sister wanting to get with him. Why? It adds nothing to the film whatsoever. It's just this little side story so they can pad it out to almost 90 minutes, and they don't even get to that, man. I mean, there's moments here where I'm literally like, the sister was once this smart, capable chick, and suddenly she has googly eyes for this douchebag idiot, and she's like, oh, well, I guess I need to be stupid now. Yeah, I guess because the plot tells me to be stupid and I need to look at his abs. Oh, look at it. Oh, look at his perfect hair. And oh, he's cool. I want to be part of the cool kids. And I'm like, seriously? Really? Suddenly you become this dumb, idiotic, stupid as hell fucking teenager because suddenly this guy has interest in you. And my girlfriend is like, well, she is a teenager. I'm like, come on, man. Teenagers got to be smarter than that shit nowadays, right? Well, maybe I'm giving teenagers too much credit. Son of a bitch, man. I mean, maybe I am, dude, but I mean, come on. It just felt like she was just betraying the whole character that she was. It made no sense whatsoever. She turns into a total bitch at the drop of a hat, and by the way, dumb as hell, because her so-called boyfriend, who after one makeout session, they're in a relationship apparently, because geez, after you kiss somebody a little bit, I guess that's what happens nowadays. I mean, seriously, we don't talk to one another on Facebook. Oh, well, I kind of want to know about him. Yeah, is he like worth it or not? Yeah, I kind of think I want to get with him, but I really need to know. Can you like ask around? No, just a couple of kissing scenes and hey, I guess we're hooking up, huh? Jeez, man. You fucking teenagers are gullible as shit nowadays. I'm just saying, man. This movie's proof positive of it. Son of a bitch, dude. Good God, man. I mean, he suggests this party, right? Oh, it's just gonna be a few people. And it turns into a whole bunch of these fucking rowdy teenagers puking in fucking drawers, graffiti all over the wall. And she's like, oh my God, this is too much. I didn't sign up for this. Well, you kind of should have thought about that before you ended up dating the asshole jerk-off. I mean, the warning signs were all there, but you just had to be dumb for the sake of the plot, so yeah. Teenage hormones be damned, Apparently so, man. I mean, this movie had moments that I liked. I mean, even kind of the blood and gore stuff. There's scenes towards the end of the movie where the aliens have some of them captured, and some of the weird shit that they do to them, the goo that they put on them, it's kind of like Nickelodeon slime or some shit, but it like melts their face off, or it turns them into these weird creature monsters. I mean, some of that is kind of cool, actually. So some of the effects overall aren't bad, like 1 out of 10, but it kind of works. But you just don't get to know any of the characters, or really feel for them, or understand them, or really root for them. It's all so fast, so matter of fact, that it just flies by the seat of its pants, and you just don't give a shit, man. Honestly, I don't mind a fast-paced movie that's really quick and brutal, gets in and gets out, and is fun and entertaining. And this movie had the potential to be that, but I needed a little bit more from it, man. It just didn't give me everything that I wanted. I thought a cool concept like this, kids versus aliens, you could really milk it for all that it's worth, man. And it just didn't do it for me, and it's just a goddamn shame. It's a hodgepodge of ideas, like Fire in the Sky meets Stranger Things and Attack the Block and all those other type of movies. I mean, there's some interesting moments here where it kind of capitalizes on it, but few and far between, and it really, dude, it could have just been way, way better, and it just really epically kind of falls flat on its face. And it kind of sucks, dude. Look, at the end of the day, is it kind of fun? Yeah, it has its fun moments. I like some of the kids. And yeah, the effects have a moment or two where you're kind of like, ooh, that's kind of gross. But just not enough of it. It needed to be more like The Gate. Remember that old school 80s kids horror comedy, man? It needed to be more like that. I think this movie really needed to embrace its sensibilities more, maybe the campiness. Who knows, man? There's so many things they could have done better, could have changed. I mean, maybe they needed a bigger budget, maybe they needed to not feel like they're
costumes and their sets came from, you know, the discount section at Party City. I mean, who knows, dude? There's so many things that could have been done better with this movie. I think this could have been a fantastic film, man. It could have been one of those really great horror comedies that really embraces this sort of kitschy, campy sensibility, and it kind of does, but it doesn't go far enough, man. It doesn't really take it to that next level where it's really gonna be like this cult classic movie, dude. It just doesn't have it in it, and it really sucks, man. There's moments that it's really good, but there's a lot of moments that is just really downright an embarrassment, terrible, and you just kind of feel like, man, I'd rather be watching a shot-on-video movie from like the 90s or the 80s, because at least then I can kind of forgive it for some of its faults. But I can't do it with this, man. Not at all, dude. There are so many great movies out there that take that premise of kids versus monsters or aliens like that and really makes them wonderful. Even the Monster Squad, dude, is really fucking amazing and phenomenal. So nowadays, if you don't really meet the criteria, you're falling flat on your ass. And Kids vs. Aliens has a really great concept, interesting, fascinating idea, but it just doesn't go there far enough, man. It just doesn't get to that next level, and that's a real goddamn shame, dude. And what really sucks even more is that this movie leaves on a fucking cliffhanger. Like, the kids are in peril on the alien spaceship. That feels like Ed Wood had made it from Plan 9 or some shit, man. Actually, fuck, the Ed Wood designs are a hell of a lot better, man. Fucking hell, dude. And they're in danger, and aliens have taken them to wherever they're going, and it's like, oh, dun dun dun, wait till the next film. And I'm like, shit, if there's a next film, dude, God, I really feel sad for myself that I have to watch that sumbitch. I really do, dude. And I was like, oh, maybe there's an after credit scene, and my girlfriend is like, this movie is too cheap for an after credit scene. And sad to say, there actually is an after credit scene, man. And I'm like, oh my God, really? It's just as stupid as the rest of the fucking movie. And again, another cliffhanger where, oh, can't wait for the next film. And I'm like, please, can we just not? All right, this was a disappointment and embarrassment. And now, seriously, do we really need to just continue the ever-loving shame with a sequel that's probably going to be the same garbage? Of course we do, because why not, man? Look, I love these type of movies, but you know what? I think I'm going to stick with the 80s and 90s nostalgia, because they did it a hell of a lot better. Movies nowadays can do it really good. Like a movie like Psycho Goreman. Yeah, Psycho Goreman did it really well. They really embraced the campiness and the cheesiness, and yet still made an awesome, kick-ass, gory as hell, great effects-laden movie. I only wish Kids vs. Aliens could say the same, but seriously, a hard pass. And that's being, again, very kind. Indeed it is, man. Fucking hell. Shit. Well, they can't all be winners, to be fair. They can't, and especially that one. That's for damn sure. But maybe Scare Package? Rad Tail's Revenge for $9.96. Ooh, a little bit of Shudder love. Don't mind if I do, baby. The call is coming from inside the movie. Oh, shit. Scare Package 2, actually, man. Nice. I heard this was coming out. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to watch this yet, but I'm really interested in checking this out. I actually got the first Scare Package from a subscriber, and I watched it, and I thought it was fucking awesome, man. I thought it was really cool. It was really fucking genius, and I loved the premise behind it, and some of the campiness and the in-jokes and shit. Like, I thought that was really cool, man. So, to see a sequel, I'm kinda down with this, man. It looks fucking gory as hell. It looks funny. It basically looks like the same film from the first one, just amped to 11, which I can't wait for, man. I gotta check this one out, man. Dude, I can't say that I love everything Shudder. Trust me, Lord knows I've said enough shit about Shudder in the past, but Scare Package is a really great gem, definitely worth watching, and so yeah, I'll give the sequel a chance. I really will, man. This one could be unique, and especially with that tagline, I'm definitely giving it a go, babies.
Shudder sequel love. Didn't quite think I would be looking forward to something like that, but with this, I definitely am.
The Ripper rides again in Ripper's Revenge. He hunts again, baby. Yes, for $9.96. Oh, ho, ho. Little Jack the Ripper love anybody? Indeed I do. As a series of grisly murders terrorize London, a journalist who reported on the Ripper's initial reign of terror finds himself getting letters from someone claiming to be the killer, leading him to the victims' bodies and finding his own life and those around him threatened. Ooh, I'm liking that, baby. Yes, little slasher Ripper goodness, baby, man. It kind of feels like From Hell meets Zodiac. Or some shit. Just old school Victorian London where all the grisly murders are happening, man. It's kind of interesting, dude. Look, I actually really do like a lot of interesting Ripper stories, man. Like I said, From Hell is fucking fantastic, dude. I've always liked that movie with Johnny Depp and Heather Graham. I think that's really great. Even ones that take a little bit more of a contemporary modern take to it, like Jack's Back. Yeah, you remember that one, dude? That was an interesting one. I like that with James Spader. Yeah, James Spader, man, that was a good one, man. That really was. So I like those type of movies if done right. There's some that are not as good, let's be fair. But there's a lot of really good ones out there. I don't know whether this one will be that necessarily. It has potential, but this is also straight to DVD stuff we're talking, so just because it looks good doesn't mean it actually is good. Just spitting facts, folks, alright? But for the most part, it has an interesting edge to it and something that I definitely appreciate. More Jack the Ripper goodness out there? Yeah, I can definitely dig it. Not bad. Looks kind of interesting. Interesting indeed, man. But from the Ripper love to, oh my lord, we got more killer shark goodness. Say it ain't so, baby. Oh, man. Swim. Because if you can't run, well, you swim. But what if you can't swim? Well, then I guess you're fucked. Apparently so, man. Oh, dude, look at this. Whoa, I love that cover, man. She's screaming in terror and kind of the shark too. Wouldn't it be weird if the shark was more threatened by the woman? Like they're both screaming. They're like, oh my god, you're scaring the shit out of me. What the fuck? Both of them are scared out of their minds. Oh my god. A white chick? I only eat dark meat. Oh, man. Goddamn, dude. Jesus Christ. Click it out, man. It looks like a fun cover, man. Not saying the movie will be fun, just saying the cover looks fun. You know what I think about these covers, baby. What is this? In the vein of Bait and Crawl, okay, a family is stuck inside a hurricane-flooded vacation rental must keep going further and further up into the house as rising water traps a shark within the home. Oh, shit, man, they are fucked, dude. Unless they get rescued fast, and I mean like a motherfucker like the Flash speed fast, baby, they are fucked to the max, man. Goddamn, dude. I mean, I love a good shark movie. I do, man. I mean, come on. Jaws, the penultimate movie for shark flicks. I mean, come on, it's just obvious. But I do love, come on, Deep Blue Sea is really great. I think Deep Blue Sea is fucking awesome. Of course, lest we forget a little bit of The Shallows love, yes. That movie ain't half bad. Not half bad indeed. Again, you could mention a movie like Open Water. So, there are movies within the shark genre that are really great. Phenomenal, well done, man. Really give you that thrill ride that you really want out of a killer shark movie. But then again, there's others within the subgenre that are flat out embarrassments, disappointments, shame to even watch the damn things. Yeah, like Shark Night, and I could just mention a shitload of them. Sharknado movies. Yeah, talk about taking a piss out of sharks, man. It's really bad, dude. Sharks have been watered down like a motherfucker. I mean, they're still really popular, dude. I mean, people love talking about Shark Week and watching all the documentaries and stuff. I mean, it's still great, but watered down? Yeah, I would agree with that. And with this, it looks like an interesting idea, man. And it looks like a really cool, sort of on the edge of your seat nail biter. Will they survive? Won't they?
I'm hoping that there's some good chum here because the shark definitely needs to eat, baby. Oh, it does, man. Hopefully some good kills, hopefully some good thrills, and less of an embarrassment. Let's hope, man. But as far as these people are concerned, look, just get up on top of the roof, put your head between your legs, kiss your ass goodbye, and maybe season yourself with some paprika because the shark definitely needs to have the flavor to its meat. And, well, if you're gonna die, at least die with some flair. Oh, great. Now I gotta worry about Teddy Ruxpin's coming to life and killing my ass. Shit. Night of the Killer Bear. Yes, for $9.96. What the fuck? Ted meets Terrifier. You don't say. Look at that, baby. That stuffed animal was ready to wreak havoc like a mofo. Whoa. Who won't? A killer cuddle. Oh, that's great. Oh my god. What the fuck is this about, dude? After not seeing each other for a long time, 5 teenage friends escape their boring lives by going on a vacation together. Staying at a quiet resort isolated from the city, they all party and have a good time until things take a dark turn. When it's revealed each of them have hidden secrets, and unbeknownst to the group, there is someone observing them. Oh, really? When one of them ends up brutally murdered, paranoia and distrust surrounds the group, motivating each remaining member to accuse each other of being the murderer, or considering the possibility that the real murderer is the unseen presence observing them and that they are all in danger. Yes. Did you ever get that feeling that your Alf doll or your Cabbage Patch Kid or the Teddy Ruxpin could come to life and attack you at any moment? Well, if you did, this movie's for you, baby. Oh my god, did I have those feelings when I was a kid like a motherfucker, dude. Seriously, man. Sometimes my own toys terrified the hell out of me, and this looks like one of those ones that has taken absolute advantage of it. Oh, it truly is, dude. That's interesting. That means Terrifier. That's one hell of a description, dude. That is one heck of a combo, and it could either be really great or really sadly terrible, man. It could go either way with this thing, but come on, just the idea alone of this would definitely have you intrigued to just watch the damn thing, man. And it's not like this is a new concept necessarily. I mean, we've had killer dolls and everything like that, and even a couple years ago, there was a movie called Benny Loves You, which took the idea of a stuffed animal going to really killer extremes. So it's not like this is new territory, but I just like the concept behind it. And you could do some really wicked things with this if done right. Because, man, you could really make this funny, but yet horrific, creepy, and you could really take advantage of a stuffed animal and the idea that it's so benign and you think it's so innocent and just a stupid little toy, and it could turn into something really deadly and menacing, man. Oh, that is so cool. I just love that idea, man. Oh, and all the idiotic teenagers getting killed in wicked ways. There's something gratifying and satisfying about that, dude. I don't know. As I get older, I really love seeing all these idiotic teenagers just getting brutally massacred. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm turning more sadistic as I get older or not, man, but I'm taking great pleasure in watching that. Call me sick, call me twisted, call me what you want. But a killer teddy bear on the loose, killing stupid teenagers that deserve to die, man, that just warms my ever-loving heart. Oh, it truly does, man. Goddamn, man. It could be shit, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd watch it. I really would, dude. Night of the Killer Bear. Yes, oh my god, man. Give me more of that shit. Oh, really? God, we've got that. Hell, we've even got a little bit of Meteor First Impact love, which something tells me that this isn't going to be half as entertaining as what that Killer Bear flick is. Holy shit, man. Oh, let me guess. I gotta stop a meteor that's gonna hit the world and everyone's gonna die. Yeah, species killing, deep freeze event, all that shit. I've seen it done before and quite frankly done better with a movie like Deep Impact. Yeah, Deep Impact did it so really fucking fantastic. fantastically, and everyone's been trying to ape off of it ever since. Hell, even some of the Gerard Butler movies are really great, like Greenland. So, yeah, your first impact, that probably has some cheesy effects, probably some weird and ridiculous kills, and that's about it. Yeah, not much. Not much at all, man. They can keep it, dude. But, oh, we ain't done yet because, dude, look at this. Alien invasion weirdness? What the fuck is this, dude? Yo, we do not come in peace. Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Jeez, man. Rip off Central, anybody? Holy shit. Oh, my God. Oh, look at that alien, man. It's only a face a mother alien can love, because I sure ain't loving that shit. Oh, God. A group of friends discover a large egg nesting in their neighbor's lab. When the egg hatches, they encounter an unwelcome predator from space and must attempt a harrowing escape as they battle to stop the alien reaching civilization. Yes. Well, maybe if you found the egg at first, maybe you could have jettisoned it into outer space before it was going to attack anybody. I know, right? I'm making sense. What the fuck is wrong with me? What the fuck is wrong with me indeed, man? Ah, shit, dude. Oh, man. It's just like a really terrible, like, D or Z level fucking alien ripoff, man. I mean, hell, they're even ripping it off in the fucking cover. Dude, man, it's so Alien 3. Come on, man. God, man, it's a fucking ripoff from top to fucking bottom, man. And, dude, look, there is some really great alien style ripoffs, man. There's some really wonderful ones out there, like Scared to Death or The Terror Within, Creature. Those are so good, man. Cheesy, ridiculous, but so fun, and a hell of a lot of entertainment value out of those motherfuckers, man. Roger Corman made a shitload of them, dude. I mean, he made a whole career out of that shit, alright? So, you can definitely do some good, cheesy, campy, alien-style ripoffs, but then you do something like this, and it's like, oh, yeah. Well, at least we can get into Walmart. Somebody will buy the motherfucker. Somebody at some point will, and God bless their heart and soul, man. $10 down the drain when you could just watch some of the Roger Corman specialities, and they'd be a hell of a lot better, something tells me, man. Ay, dude, what the fuck? Rip-offs all over the place. Alien at least inspires rip-offs to this very day, and, well, you gotta at least appreciate that. We do not come in peace, but guess what? You're going in pieces, asshole. Ah, you do indeed, man. Fucking hell. More cheesy, ridiculous, over the top, and quite terrible straight-to-DVD movies. It never ends, and God bless Walmart for it. God bless Walmart indeed, because, oh my God, look at all the crazy and weirdness that we got, man, on top of the new release love. Oh, that's pretty damn sweet. Oh, you definitely gotta dig it, and oh, I absolutely do. Let's head out. Walmart comes through in the end, yet again, but then they've kind of been doing it a lot as of recent, so I can't really say I'm all that shocked. Pleasantly really satisfied? Sure, why not, man? So good seeing all the new release goodies, the indie ridiculous cheapo-ness. Hey, I'll take what I can get, baby. You know that is for damn sure, man. Pretty damn solid here at Walmart. Nice to see them doing their due diligence. Nice to see them really picking up the pace of physical media love. It's always well appreciated indeed. Truly is. Oh, I can't complain. And I know you definitely can't. Hell, this Walmart has had its low points, but now it's back up on the high. And as this physical media fan, I can definitely get used to it. Oh, yes, baby. But there is more physical media love to check out, hopefully at more of the stores. So why not we go and check it all out? We interrupt this broadcast for some late breaking news. Well, kinda, sorta. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the video, guys. Actually, this is a great part of the video, right? Where I'm in the car and I'm shooting the shit with you, talking about random movie news, physical media news, whatever it is, man. I love just chit-chatting with you guys and doing my thing. But
yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, because there's a little snag, just a wee tiny bit one, guys. So, I had an issue with my computer recently, and I almost lost all of the files to every out and about that I have done recently. Ones previously and ones in the future that you haven't seen yet, and I was losing my shit. Okay? Damn, man. A major bad malfunction with my computer. And so I took it to an expert trying to recover all the files, and thankfully I did, except for one little video, and that's this little part where I talk about movies in the car with you guys. Yeah, out of all of the files, out of everything, I recovered them all, except for this one little itty bitty one. So, sorry to say, guys, but you're not gonna hear me bullshit and rant and talk about streaming news or physical media news or whatever random movie stuff I come up with. Hate to say it, but it's a small sacrifice where it could have been an even bigger one. Okay, so I apologize. You're not gonna get some weird ramblings in the car that I do from time to time, but hey, you'll definitely get it next week, guys. So, sorry to say that you're just not gonna get that goodness, but hey, better one tiny video lost instead of a lot of them. And it could have been a hell of a lot worse. So, one small sacrifice, but it could have been far more chaotic. So, we'll take one small little piece of a video lost, and the rest will go on as scheduled. So, hate to break it to you, but, well, here I am, not talking about any movie news, just giving you the lowdown that, well, unfortunately, one little sacrifice, but the rest of the video is still intact. More physical media love to check out. So how about we go over to Target, where hopefully they'll have the goods. Let's hope.
All right, everybody. We are in at Target under the new releases, and damn, I'm so glad to say they actually have physical media this week, because if they didn't, man, I was going to be pissed. 2 weeks in a row of no media, that would be unacceptable. So thank God they got their act together. Let's finally show off the physical media here. It's about damn time, baby. When we talking about none other than cocaine-fueled raised bears in Cocaine Bear. The Maximum Rampage Edition, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.99, the DVD Love for $17.99. Very nice. And of course, there's all kinds of rampaging bear love out there. Yes, some may prefer ones that are hopped up on cocaine, and that's fair enough because, you know, those are a certain specialty, but there is many types of killer bear movies out there, man. Actually, some really good ones, like the 1976 Killer Bear Extravaganza Grizzly. Yeah, that's a really good film, man. I really like that one a lot. Of course, you gotta talk about The Edge from 1997 with Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. Yes. Oh, man, that is one hell of a survival movie. I really love that. Some actually consider it one of the best killer bear movies of all time. And I can't quite say I disagree with them. Put it that way, man. It is really fucking solid of a flick, man. I have always loved that movie. That movie is brutal, but if you're really talking about brutal attack scenes, there's not many in the movie, but there's one in particular that is grisly as hell, and that is The Revenant, man. Leonardo DiCaprio gets fucked up by a bear. Oh my God, man. That is like the one scene everybody talked about when that movie came out, dude. And I can kind of see why, because it is literally just him getting mauled like a motherfucker, man. It's fucking hardcore, man. Man, what he has to go through with that fucking bear, dude. It is just really intense, man. And it is so fucking good, dude. And I love that. That's a great scene in that movie. I can't quite say it's all the killer bear all over the place, but that one scene alone really at least has to put its stamp in the killer bear genre. At least just a little, man. Of course, there's 2018's Arctic with Mads Mikkelsen, which is actually not a bad little movie, man. It's a survival tale and they're in the harsh winter, and he's one of the survivors of this crash, and he's trying to get help, and he's being stalked and attacked by this killer polar bear. It's actually really good, man. It's actually not bad. It's almost kind of like The Gray with Liam Neeson, but instead of wolves, it's pretty much like a polar bear. But it's still really solid, man. I really love that movie. Of course, we also have to talk about 2014's Backcountry. Oh, man. That's another really great killer bear movie. This couple gets lost in these woods on this trail, and suddenly they're getting attacked and stalked by this bear that's all around them. That is really great. Some really great scares and attack scenes in that movie, man. They do a really great job with the foreboding, creepy quality of the bear can come out at any moment, man. That is some good shit. Highly underrated, but very, very well done. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about a documentary that is absolutely well worth watching, and that is Grizzly Man from 2005. This is a unique and fascinating as hell documentary about these two wildlife activists that are living in the Alaskan wildlife among these grizzly bears. And it is a stark reminder about the harsh reality of these bears. I mean, everybody thinks, well, they're cute and cuddly, and the reality is that these are dangerous creatures that can rip your fucking face off, okay? And that's just the truth, man. And yet at the same time, it's incredibly fascinating about these wildlife activists being among them, seeing the beauty of these creatures, but the danger at the same time. It's incredibly amazing, well worth watching. If you haven't, get on that, man, because it's well worth a watch, man. It truly is. And yet, there is one more movie that I thought to mention, and it's highly underrated, probably extremely underseen, and that is Into the Grizzly Maze from 2015. This is a straight-to-DVD flick with James Marsden and Thomas Jane. It's basically about these brothers that are estranged. They're trying to reconcile and go on this hike in the Alaskan wilderness, and they get lost, and this bear is hunting them down and trying to kill them and attack them. It's actually pretty well done. I always talk about how straight-to-DVD movies sometimes can be absolute dumpster fires, and trust me, 90% of the time they actually can, but that is well worth one that is pretty damn solid, I would say, man, and worth giving a chance to if you can find it, man. Really, a really well done, dude. So there's a lot of recommendations out there, a lot of different types of killer bears. Of course, none of them are hopped up on cocaine, so there is that, and that heightens the whole deal to extreme absurdity levels, man. And I guess that's what makes this more unique than anything else, right? Because there is so many really great, wonderful killer bear movies out there that, well, you either stand out amongst the crowd or you get lost in the shuffle, and you need to do something unique outside the box to get people's attention nowadays. And, well, this is a concept that at least gets your attention one way or another, man, and it truly does. So I give the filmmakers credit for really trying to go for this crazy premise, and I think some of the time they really do, man. And I love the crazy hijinks with the bear and the attack scenes and all of the brutality. I think that works brilliantly, but all of the stupid side characters and the stupid subplots and things to just pad out the runtime just doesn't really work, man. It just feels like a wasted opportunity. And I think you can make a really amazing movie out of this. You just kind of got to cut the fat a bit. And if you did, I think this would be an absolute legendary movie. For what it's worth, it's a crazy wild concept, definitely worth exploring and making a movie over, but does it ultimately live up to the pantheon of killer bear movies? I'll leave that up for the movie historians out there, but as far as my opinion is concerned, not so much. Worthy of a get-together with your friends, hanging out, partying, and watching a bear rampaging and killing people hopped up on cocaine. Yeah, why not? But as far as living up to the pantheon of movies like The Edge or Grizzly or the gnarly attack scene in The Revenant, I don't know. Look, I love Elizabeth Banks as a filmmaker. Well, okay, maybe more of an actress than a filmmaker. I mean, she did do that really terrible Charlie's Angels movie. But look, I think in more capable hands with a director that truly understands the genre and how to milk it for every last minute of extreme exploitation, you could get something really phenomenal. But I think because it's a studio film, it had to tread the line between being brutal and gnarly and ridiculous and over the top and still being somewhat commercial. We got this. It's still a fun time. It is still an amazing time worth watching. But the absolute legendary, crazy, insane insanity of a movie that everybody was talking about, yeah, I'm not so sure. Strip till you can't strip any longer. Well, in Channing Tatum's case, honestly, that's really the only work he can really get, so yeah, don't stop on my account. Hey, everybody needs money, and if your body is the only thing that's really working for you these days, well, you gotta pay the bill somehow. With Magic Mike's Last Dance, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $22.99, the DVD for $17.99. Oh yes, more of Channing Tatum's naked body that I didn't really need to see, but shit, my girlfriend likes seeing it, so I guess it was worth the price of renting it. Okay, fair enough. Oh man, I gotta talk about Channing Tatum because I don't think Channing Tatum is necessarily a bad actor, but I don't think he's truly capitalized on his skills the way I think he could be. Because, let's be honest, man, Channing Tatum is a sex symbol. Channing Tatum is basically used for sexual purposes on screen, man, all the way back in the days of Step Up. You remember he was in that original Step Up movie, man, taking his shirt off, dancing, sexualizing, all that shit. It got the girls' attention, and it was successful enough to get the Hollywood executives' attention, and therefore he became a big star, not based on the acting talent necessarily, but based on his looks and his body and the physique, of course, man. And yet at the same time, I do feel that he has moments of being a really great actor, man. Movies like The Vow or 21 Jump Street, The Eagle, Foxcatcher, and so many more, man. He's actually not a bad actor when he really puts a decent amount of effort into it. But then there's all the schmaltzy romantic shit like Dear John, which is a real piece of shit, or that island heist movie Lost City. Oh god, and don't remind me of that shit. Jeez, he played a fucking idiot in that movie, dude. It's so bad. Oh, I wanted him to get some sort of island fever or something so he fucking died quickly so I didn't have to see him in the movie anymore. Jeez. That is one awful fucking flick, dude. That's bad, man. And so I see him make movies like that. I'm like, dude, this is the bottom of the barrel crap fest. But then I see him do stuff like Dog, which is really dramatic and heartfelt. I'm like, okay, I'm liking that. Or he's trying his action shots in White House Down, and he's doing a pretty decent job at it. So I'm like, okay, he's the comeback kid. And then he does something like Jupiter Ascending, where he's playing this dog, human, hybrid, alien, weird fucking shit, and that's really just god-awful sci-fi extravaganza blockbuster that fell right flat on its ass, man. And so, I don't know, man. I mean, he takes one step forward, two steps back, and there's moments where I really think, man, he's got it all together, and he's really great, and he's charming and charismatic, and then there's other moments where he's like, dude, damn, man, please to God, well, I don't know if you can get any lower than this piece of shit, but I'm sure you'll try, Channing. Damn, dude. I mean, look, I think
it's movies like Magic Mike that really showcase his charm and his likability factor in a big bad way, man. And I think it's just needing the right role for him to really shine, man, to really break through in the end. And I mean, he's either doing movies like this where he's taking his shirt off and he's dancing and he's being all sexy, or he's sort of the cameo guy now. I mean, he did a cameo in Bullet Train, and This Is the End, and he's been doing a few cameos here and there in like a movie, a sort of a shock factor cameo. Ooh, came out of nowhere, Channing fucking Tatum, and you're like, oh shit. And that's kind of getting tiring real fast. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he does have real talent, and I think not every movie showcases it in the best way possible, but I do think Magic Mike does, actually, man. Crazy enough, I think it really shows that he can have a really great, sexy demeanor, absolutely, but he can also showcase the acting ability and the chemistry with an actor, given the right dialogue, given the right director that really understands him. And I think him and Steven Soderbergh working together, you can really feel it. You can really feel that Steven Soderbergh is getting the performance that he wants out of Channing Tatum. And certain directors are able to do that, and others are not. Then they just use him as a sex symbol just for the sake of using him as a sex symbol. Look, at the end of the day, Channing Tatum is bold to go out there, take his shirt off, dance his heart out, and get paid lots of money for it, okay? Lord knows I ain't doing that shit, and there's a hell of a lot of people that ain't doing that shit either, okay? And you gotta give him credit for something. At the end of it all, looks do pass, and talent eventually doesn't last forever. And your dance moves as you get older, well, your bones are a little bit more brittle, and well, your knees are a little bit more weaker, and you're starting to get more cramps, and yeah, old age sucks. Old age really does. So eventually those things will at one point fade away, and what will ultimately be left is talent. So will Channing Tatum rise above the fray? Will Channing Tatum be able to make a true mark as an actor outside of being a sex symbol? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, it is what it is. You get paid lots of money, you take your shirt off, and you're adored by lots of women. Well, to be fair, there are worse things in the world, so hey, at this point, if it's Channing Tatum's calling card, God bless his heart and soul. And truth be told, he makes it look good. A murder mystery fit for Liam Neeson. Well, yeah, I don't know about that one. The Blu-ray DVD digital of Marlow for $22.99. Good old Detective Marlow on the case. Well, if it was only more exciting, I might give a shit. Damn, man, that's the truth. Look, there are some really great detectives in cinema history. I mean, you think of Hercule Poirot, you think of Sherlock Holmes, you think even of Benoit Blanc from the Knives Out movies. I mean, those characters have a certain sense of style in the way they solve crimes, and the movies themselves that give it a certain amount of charisma and charm that is undeniable, even over the years when there's different actors and it's updated to modern times. That still carries over depending on the actors themselves, man. And I think that's ultimately the problem here. And it's Liam Neeson. And I hate to say that, man, because I love me some Liam Neeson. But let's be real, the man is pushing 70 plus, and he's not what he used to be. He can still make great movies. I mean, there are times when it's proof positive of that, but this is not one of them. And I kind of feel like at this point, he really needs to switch it up. You're either continuing to do the Taken action movies, which is getting a little bit over the top and ridiculous, especially for his age, or you gotta find new avenues. And at least he tried something different with Marlow, so I kind of give him credit, but it didn't ultimately work. I know he's gonna be doing a Naked Gun reboot, sequel-ish type of movie where he plays Frank Drebin Jr., and I'm like,
really? But there is a part of me that kind of is curious to see how he does with that, because he does do well with comedy. I think there's a scene in one of the Ted movies where he's buying like tricks, and he has that whole scene with Ted about, are these tricks for kids? And shit. And he's so great in that, and it's so hilarious, man. And I'm like, okay, I think he could pull off comedy if it's done in the right way, man. Look, Liam Neeson is a wonderful actor, man, and I have followed his career for years upon years, man, all the way back to the Crawl days, man. You remember Crawl? That was such a fucking amazing movie, man. I love that fantasy flick. That's great. I've loved him in Rob Roy, and I've loved him in Darkman, and I've loved him in Les Mis, and man, I could go on and on. He's just an excellent actor in so many ways. But as you get older, Hollywood doesn't throw you as much bones as they used to, and you take what you can get. And if you can get into a nice little niche like he did with the Taken movies and kind of ride that for a while, why not? But even that is starting to dry up a bit. I mean, I can't say it's his fault with this movie, because he does try at times, but I blame the director, I blame the studio. You know what the novels are, you know the description of this character, and to put a 70-plus-year-old man in this role who had no business doing it, that's on you, man. That's not on Liam Neeson. It's the same thing with Jack Reacher. I mean, as much as I loved Tom Cruise in that first movie, the description is not Tom Cruise. And seeing that Jack Reacher TV show, I'm really reminded, oh my God, this is perfect for Jack Reacher. This is the description, man. This really just makes the character even more amazing, because it really is exactly like it is in the books. And so you either do the books justice, or you're really doing a misfire to the material. And I think Marlow is one of those instances where you really do that, man. But Liam Neeson is not to blame in this. He's trying, but not really executing it perfectly. But I don't really, at the end of the day, think that he's at fault for that ultimately, man. Look, I will always love Liam Neeson. I will always have a soft spot for that man because of how many movies he's been a part of, how many ones that I've loved of his. I mean, come on. Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Batman Begins. I mean, Jesus, how many actors could say they both trained Batman and fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, seriously, come on, man. I mean, the dude is talented, all right? So I'll always give him a lot of credit, man, and he will always be one of my really great cinematic, heroic actors out there who has done some amazing material. But even after a while, your heroes start to die down after a while, and Liam Neeson is one of them. Let's hope that he has a career change. Let's hope that The Naked Gun really ends up changing a certain mentality for him, and he gets into a whole new different genre of the quirky oddball comedies. Hey, why not? You can always transform yourself from time to time within your cinematic career. I mean, Nicolas Cage has done it, for Christ's sake, and Charles Bronson and so many other actors. So why not Liam Neeson do it more than once? Why the hell not? Look, I will always love Liam Neeson. I will always love detective movies, but the two of them together, wasn't really a roaring success. She's a maniac, oh, and she's dancing like she's never danced before. Oh, what a feeling, baby. Oh, what a feeling indeed with Flashdance, the 40th anniversary on 4K, baby, for $21.99. Yes, we saw this last week over at Best Buy, but Target finally decided to put their edition out. Of course, why the hell not, man? The regular 4K Flashdance love, man. 40 years. Do you realize that I'm slightly older than Flashdance? Damn. That is a reality I did not even want to think about. I did not at all, man. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, man. But hey, just like Flashdance, I'm aging like fine wine. Oh, indeed I am, man. Goddamn, man. Just like I said last week, I love Flashdance. I love the music. I love the clothing. I love the setting. I love the just dancing. I love everything about this movie, man. It is one of those great 80s classics. Is it timeless? I don't know. How many female welders do you really know, folks? Who also do, like, part-time stripping on the side? How many people do you know do that? I guarantee it ain't many, all right? Oh, man. Oh, boy. But look, I think the 80s is such really great cinema. And I think there's no other decade like it, man. And it's movies like The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and all the great John Hughes stuff and great stuff like Flashdance and so many other movies out there. The great 80s comedies and the 80s action movies and all the really great stuff with Stallone and Schwarzenegger. And I mean, there's something about the 80s that was just magical for that time. You just had to be around it. You had to watch the movies and the music and the clothing and the hair, and it just was a really great, wonderful time for the arts and for cinema. And Flashdance is a really great encapsulation of that. It really honestly is, dude. And Jennifer Beals is amazing here, and it's just so entertaining and enjoyable and infectiously fun, and it just puts a really great smile on your face. And I'm glad that I bought the Steely Love. I'm glad this is a great edition, and man, it looks really sweet, but that Steely looks even sweeter, man. It really does. Look, if you call yourself an 80s fan, if you call yourself an 80s lover, if you are somebody who really is passionate about 80s cinema or just really great dance movies in general, look, Magic Mike is a really great dance movie, but it's movies like Magic Mike that would not exist if it wasn't for movies like Flashdance, man. And it's one of those movies that has stood the test of time, and it's iconic for the imagery, and people still recognize that to this day, so many years later, 40 years later, it's still remembered for the iconic dance moves and the songs and the imagery, like the woman in the chair with the water coming down on her, man. And there's certain scenes in Magic Mike where he's dancing in the water and everything like that, and it takes me back to movies like, yes, Flashdance, but also Singing in the Rain. And there's so much influence that can be seen in just those Magic Mike movies of old school dance movies, and Flashdance is one of those major influences. Look, 40 years later, it is still exciting, it is still entertaining, and it is still sexy as hell, man. Flashdance proves that the good movies never go out of style, and let's hope that it lasts another 40 years, because Flashdance is eternal, Flashdance is amazing, and Flashdance should live forever. Oh, that's for damn sure, man. Not bad, especially with all the feature love. Pretty goddamn sweet indeed, man. And sweet for the physical media love here. They've got the big new releases, and they've got that wonderful 3-film collection of the Magic Mike love for all you people who love half-naked men and dancing. So there you go. They've got it. Oh, man. 40th anniversary goodness, new release gold. And thank God that they finally got their act together, because if they didn't, ooh, they would have heard about it. Oh, they would have heard about it indeed. But hey, they did their due diligence, and I'll definitely take it. Not bad, baby. Let's head out. Damn right they showed the physical media off this week. If they didn't, I'd be coming after their ass. They knew better. Yeah, right. I highly doubt that, but regardless, it's nice to see them have a little bit of a bounce back. Don't you agree? I definitely do, man. For a second, I was walking in here and I was like, oh my God, please to God, tell me they've got something this week. Because if they don't, boy, it's going to be a bummer as hell. Thankfully, they had the new release love, most of it. Yes, not as good as Walmart, but to be fair, Walmart has all those indie oddities, all the weirdness, they have all kinds of oddball stuff. Target can never really compete with that. But hey, they got what they got. They got all the new release goodies, so I'll take it. And hey, at least with all of this new release love, it definitely makes me, wait for it, a very happy physical media boy. And I know it does for you as well. Oh, absolutely, baby. So, hey, we came, we saw, we finally got to check out some media here. Thank the Lord. But, hey, we got great media one place, great media here. Hopefully more? I'd like to hope so. How about we go and see what we can find?
All right, everybody, we are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm gonna go in and check out if there's any interesting movies worth showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and shoot off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I gotta talk about a trailer with you guys, and I always love a good, juicy vampire tale. And when it's Dracula, you've seen it a time or two, but sometimes not everything, because the voyage is always better than the destination. Perhaps with The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Yeah, hitting theaters, I believe, in around like August or something like that, man. This movie, dude. Now, I didn't really know this movie was even existing. All right, I'm not gonna lie, man. And I was in the movie theater with the guys, and suddenly this trailer comes up, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I kind of heard rumblings about the trailer, but seeing it on the big screen, man, this impresses me. Now, as I said earlier, I am a big fan of Dracula. I've seen a whole bunch of Dracula movies, down to the original Bela Lugosi flick, all the way down to, Bram Stoker's Dracula, you name it. I've seen it all, man. And, you've seen the story done in very unique and different ways, and all types of varieties and different actors, you name it. But it's kind of interesting because the book and a lot of the movies, see, there is a chapter that is based on the idea of the voyage and the ship and going across the sea and getting to England and everything like that. There's a whole chapter based on it, and some movies kind of skim the surface with it, kind of show a little bit of it, just kind of quick shots to just get you to that point of getting to England and kind of seeing the aftermath, the carnage of it. But you never really get an in-depth journey on the actual ship itself until now. And that's what I find actually really fascinating, because you've never really gotten to know the ship, and you don't get to really know the crew members of the ship. All you really get at the end of the day is Dracula just tearing shit up and blood and guts everywhere. And you know that when it ports in England, man, there's a fucking massacre on that fucking ship, dude. And you don't know what the fuck happened. And I like the fact that somebody is literally taking that chapter of the story, that little itty bitty piece of a frame or two of a movie, and really making it into something bigger, something more epic. And I think it looks really killer, man. I like the idea of getting to know these ship people, getting to know their dilemmas and why they're on here, and the idea of the cargo that they are transporting, knowing, you and I, that that's not just simple cargo. That's fucking Count Dracula, man. And just, the bloodbath that's coming, and just the anticipation of it, and the idea that it's going to be fucking brutal as hell, man. And it looks it. And I just love the idea that, if you are in England or in Transylvania or something like that, obviously you can try to get away somehow, some way, right? There's cars, or you can run, you can do something, man. Not saying it'll be successful, but you can try. But what I love about this story is that you are on a ship. You are in the middle of the ocean, the sea. There is no escape. Like, during the day, you kind of have some amount of safety, a little bit of safety. And you're trying to come up with a plan and figure out what's going on or who's doing it, etc., etc. But once it hits dark, once it hits nighttime, dude, you are fucked. Okay, you are absolutely screwed. There is no escape whatsoever. And maybe you could try to hide in somewhere, but man, it better be a place where Dracula ain't gonna be able to find your ass, because if he does, man, every organ of your body is going to be drained of every ounce of fucking blood, man. And I just love the fear of that. And just being terrorized by the fact that, oh my God, you are trapped in this small little area with no avenue of escape whatsoever. And your only hope is either A, survival, or B, getting to your destination fast enough where maybe you can escape. I mean, it is terrifying as hell, man. And I think the trailer really showcases that in a great way, man. I mean, it doesn't show you
Zippity-doo-dah, a lot of
everything,
empty
but it shows you
areas.
enough where you know you're
Yeah,
going to get
it's
blood.
really
You know you're going to
embarrassing.
get
Ugh,
guts. You
shit,
know that
man.
you're going to really be in this intense journey with these characters and the survival of it and the fear and the terror that comes with that. It looks great, dude. On top of that, I'll just say this. The brief glimpses of Dracula, it looks good, man. I mean, he looks like this feral bat fucking winged creature, man. It looks fucking amazing, man. What they did with the look of Dracula just in the brief shots of the trailer look fucking epic as hell, man. On top of the fact that it's going to be brutal, you tell this really claustrophobic, insane, terrifying story. I think this could be a winner, man. I mean, look, to be honest with you, the Dracula story has been told so many times, and at a certain point, it does kind of get the whole been there, done that aspect to it. But if you can do it in a fresh way that maybe hasn't been explored enough, I think you could really do something cool and interesting. And I think this is it, guys. I think this kind of looks really unique and interesting. And I'm a vampire fan. I'm a Dracula fan. I'm on board with this, man. What do you think? Do you think this is interesting, unique, or do you think that it's just another take that could just be the same old? But I think it's going to buck the trend just a wee bit, man. Definitely let me know what you think about that. But in the meantime, what about good old sucking Walmart? Lord knows that they're not really supplying all the love, especially a lot lately. But maybe this week, well, how about we go in and check it out?
All right, everybody, in at the good old second Walmart, and to be fair, it's not bad this week. I mean, we've got a decent amount of love over at Walmart. Well, at least the first Walmart. Target has bounced back, so hey, two good places for physical media love. I'll definitely take it, but what about a third? What about the indie weirdness, the bizarro, the oddities? I mean, it's been quite a long time that I can even say they've had it, because honestly, this place has become kind of piss poor. So is this the week where they are going to bounce back, where we are going to get the physical media mayhem, all the weirdness that I can handle? Well, I'm gonna be honest, that's a hard no. Oh god, it really is, man. That's bad, dude. Yet again, man. This Walmart, dude, it's so weird, where one Walmart rises, another one is failing, and maybe someday they'll get their act together, but well, this week is certainly not one of them. It's been a long time that I can say this one has had the indie oddities, the weirdness that I so epically desire. Maybe one day they will get it back in again, but it's not this week, and who knows when it will actually be. But I continue to wait. I continue to be the ever hopeful optimist, and let's hope one day that will pay off. But yeah, right now is not that. Not at all, man. So yet again, we leave here empty-handed with nothing bizarre to show off, except for Walmart itself, and well, we already know that's bizarre as it is. So, okay, well, no physical media here, shocker of a lifetime, I know, but, well, no physical media craziness and nuttiness, but, well, maybe next time, let's hope. But let's go to another location where hopefully, maybe, kinda, sorta, there will be physical media love to show off. Let's hope.
All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location, and it's ups and downs when it comes to physical media love. Sometimes you end up hitting it big, other times not so much, but every now and again you find a gem of a place that has a little bit of physical media love that definitely makes you relish being a physical media fan. And sometimes you find it at the oddest of places, like a bookstore. Well, no place is perfect. That's for damn sure, man. But hey, any physical media love is good physical media love. And you know this place sometimes definitely supplies us with the goodies. And oh, you definitely know where we are at. And that is none other than, the good old Barnes and Nobles, baby. B&N, back yet again for the physical media hijinks, or hopefully physical media hijinks, man. Some places have been really good, have bounced back. Other places continue to fall flat on their asses. But Barnes & Nobles sometimes continues to impress at moments. Will it do it again this week? Well, how about we go in and
Check it out. All right, everybody, we are in a good old B&N, and it looks like we got a little bit of a juicy selection of media love. Well, let's dive in, shall we? I know you want to, so do I. Let's get down to business, baby, with no other than, that good old cute and cuddly Cocaine Bear, yeah. The Blu-ray, DVD, and digital for none other than $36. Hey, just getting cocaine, you gotta pay a hell of a lot more than that, so I consider that pretty fair. Oh, indeed I do, man. Oh, my lord. And you want to know what? It's a very unique and interesting thing to see horror comedies with animals or insects in them. Most of the time, you're seeing really serious, horrific movies about animals or insects, bugs like that. If you remember old school movies like them, or even stuff like Jaws. Of course, I talked about great movies like The Edge, you name it. Those are not horror comedies, okay? Not even close, man. But every now and again, you do get a really great horror comedy about a rampaging animal or something really stalking and killing people. It isn't always about slashers. It isn't always about Freddy, Jason, Michael, you name it. Even the animals can end up getting a little bit of terror exposed in hilarious ways. Oh, yes, indeed they can, man. Old school stuff like Ticks from the 90s. Remember that? That was so good, man. I love that. Of course, you gotta say Arachnophobia, which was really awesome. Of course, we gotta talk about none other than Lake Placid. Come on, man. Lake Placid is fucking awesome, dude. Betty White alone made that film fucking amazing. All right, and the rampaging crocodile, alligator, whatever the hell it is, yeah, that ain't half bad either. Oh, that's not bad either, baby. I mean, I love that. Of course, you have to go to movies like Piranha 3D, which is so ridiculous and over the top. I mean, Double D is even more just fucking insane and weird. Yeah, they really took a very interesting old school horror movie about Killer Piranha and made it very hilarious and quite enjoyable, honestly. Well, at least 3D. The Double D, I'm not so sure about, but 3D was actually pretty goddamn good, all things considered, man. Of course, I have to mention Eight-Legged Freaks, which is an amazing horror comedy. I love that movie. Snakes on a Plane. I mean, yeah, you were pretty much there for Samuel L. Jackson cursing up a storm on a plane, but the snakes weren't half bad too, man. There was some pretty good snake kills in that, especially when the couple was on the Mile High Club on the plane, and like the snake was biting the chick's tit. Come on. You were feeling it. You were indeed, dude. Hell, there's even another one which is kind of underrated, but I really like, man, called Black Sheep. It's basically about these sheep that are kind of like genetically mutated. It's so weird and so bizarre, man, but goddamn is it fun and entertaining. I really love the hell out of that movie, man. God, that is wild, but so weird and oddly enjoyable, man. So good, dude. Man, there is a lot of really interesting horror comedies with animals, insects, you name it, and a hell of a lot more, man. And I gotta say, I'm intrigued by this movie, and I'm intrigued by a lot of horror cinema that is coming out as of late, because it is some odd shit that we're seeing, man. I mean, don't you agree? I mean, you got this, you've got stuff like Violent Night, which Santa Claus rampaging against people. I mean, that was a big holiday, big blockbuster movie that was out in theaters. It's just wild, man. And the same thing with this, or Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is another one that got a lot of praise. Of course, you think of stuff like Terrifier 2 that's out there, which is just crazy, ridiculous, over the top, man, but people really loved it, made a shitload of money. I mean, even going back in the day, a weird oddity like Rubber. Remember that one about that tire that was taking a road trip across the country and killing people? Yeah, that's some weird shit, man. I mean, it's kind of been building to this. Just crazy, insane ideas where then you finally get to Cocaine Bear, a rampaging bear that is hopped up on cocaine, and people are kind of loving it, dude. I mean, honestly, you really need to up the ante when it comes to horror films and horror comedies because we've seen it all, man. I mean, you go back to the Evil Dead 2 days where Ash is literally chainsawing his own hand off and it's attacking him and all the crazy hilarity that's going on there. I mean, even going down to Reanimator, reanimating dead corpses and they're all like coming after you and falling apart and shit. I mean, horror comedies have always had a bit of a devious bend to them, and this is no different, man. I mean, I appreciate the effort. I just wish it was a little bit more focused, a little bit more hitting you with not so much all this sort of hodgepodge of stories and characters all at once. I wish it was just more focused on the crazy insanity of the bear is what I wish it was, man. And when you get the bear stuff is fucking phenomenal, man. The ambulance scene and when it's trying to catch the people up on the tree, I mean, stuff like that is amazing. When it's going up against the teenagers and the forest ranger inside the little office there, that's really cool. I mean, there's some really great sequences. I just wish that there was more of it, because honestly, about almost a half of this movie, I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. The schmaltzy storyline with the kids and the mother, or the forest ranger trying to bang the guy that clearly isn't interested in her. And all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, some of it is alright, adds some layer to the film, but I just wanted to see a bear literally hopped up on white powder, rampaging the fuck through everybody, man. And I kind of got that, but I didn't get enough of it. And that's the thing about it. If you're gonna call your movie Cocaine Bear, you better 100% deliver on that promise, or you're kind of a little bit of a letdown. I'm not saying the movie is terrible, because it's not, man. It's got some really great sequences. There is moments of comedy that really do work, but it is few and far between, man. I give them credit for really going crazy wild with the idea. I mean, literally a major studio put out Cocaine Bear, okay? It was in theaters across the country. It made a lot of money. It was marketed well. It went viral. People definitely wanted to see it. And I appreciate that horror is coming back in a big bad way and is still very popular. You could have slow burns like Smile that really hit big. You can have killer dolls that go viral and people are insanely just rabid about wanting to see it. You can have all that stuff, man, and Cocaine Bear is proof positive that if you market a movie well, if you sell it to the masses in a very unique and interesting way where people can really connect to it, people are going to go see that shit. Whether the movie is good or bad, that's a whole nother issue. But Cocaine Bear proves that horror, if unique enough, if outside the box enough, will get people talking, will get people wanting to go to the movie theater, and Cocaine Bear is, as I said, proof positive of that. I just wish the movie itself was just a bit better. Again, I love horror comedies. I love crazy, wild, insane ideas with horror comedy, man. Even a movie like Dead Ant, where like gigantic ants are rampaging against this like over-the-hill rock group. I mean, that's just crazy shit, man. But it's fun and it's entertaining, and I just kind of wish Cocaine Bear was more like that. A little bit unfocused, not as good as it could be. Still some bright spots, yes. Would I like to see more rampaging Cocaine Bears? Yes, I would. Maybe the success will get Cocaine Bear 2? Ooh, I kind of hope. Because what's better than one rampaging Cocaine Bear? Well, obviously it's 2. Let's hope it actually works out that way. And hopefully the movie's better, because, you know, when you actually sell yourself on the premise of a rampaging bear that's hopped up on all kinds of crazy drugs, I'd like to see more of it. Just saying. I really would, man. I mean, you've got the bonus features, you've got alternate endings, deleted and extended scenes, gag reel, a lot more. Not bad, man. Again, he kind of half did the trick for me. Look, my friend John was fucking laughing his ass off. He was loving the movie, every single second of it. And I kind of wanted to love it as well, but it just didn't quite pull me in enough, man. There's moments that really did, and then there's moments where I'm like, dude, this is absolutely utterly stupid, but not in a clever or unique way. It's just stupid for stupid's sake. And yeah, well, better luck next time. Better luck next time means that we're gonna get more. Well, hey, if it's horror comedies like this, yeah, as long as it's done well, I'm always up for a good horror rampaging comedy with crazy hijinks and gory blood. Aren't we all?
Strip till you can't strip no more. Or unless it's your last movie and then really you have no other choice. In Magic Mike's Last Dance, the Blu-ray DVD digital for
$35.99, $36 to see Channing Tatum's strip? I think you're in for quite a bargain. Oh, indeed I do, man. You know, I could talk about all of the dancing movies out there that has truly gotten us to this point, right? Movies like Flashdance, Saturday Night Fever, so on and so forth. I could do that. But let's be real. What's really going on in this movie is good-looking, manly, muscular men stripping for women. That's all this trilogy has ever really been about, folks. That's all it really ever has. Yeah, some really great dancing in between all of it all, sure, fair enough, but it's about stripping at the end of the day, man. So, what are some really great stripping movies out there? Ah, yes, the ones that have paved the way for Magic Mike to do his thing. And actually, there's quite a few of them, man. As recent as Hustlers, yes, Jennifer Lopez stripping her heart out, baby, and stealing men's money in the process. That is a really great movie. I love that flick, man. Of course, there's also that drama Closer with Natalie Portman, the one where she's playing the stripper. That's not half bad. That's all right. Of course, you have The Players Club from 1998, Dancing at the Blue Iguana from 2000. That's a fantastic movie with Daryl Hannah in the lead role, man. It is a really great dramatic stripper tale. It really is. Seriously, that is phenomenal, man. Of course, I can't not mention Striptease with Demi Moore. That movie, man. I remember when that movie came out and all the controversy behind it and how Demi Moore was getting in trouble with like these parents groups and shit. Oh my god, I can't believe you did a stripper movie. And it's like, well, she was getting paid. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, man. It's not the best stripper movie of all time. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, man. Burt Reynolds in that film is fucking hopped up on some kind of fucking drugs, dude. I mean, my god, man. But it is unique and at least entertaining enough film for what it's worth, man. Of course, I have to say, the granddaddy of them all, Showgirls. Oh my god, man. That movie is epically nuts and batshit insane, man. I remember watching that for the first time and did not know what I was walking myself into at all. And it's like crazy wild sex scenes, nudity all over the place, the most oddest fucking characters. I mean, my god, it is literally like a movie that felt like somebody hopped on drugs made. I mean, literally, it is fucking wild as shit, man. But I love every fucking batshit insanity second of that film, man. It is cheesy, it is ridiculous, it is over the top as all hell. But damn, do I love that movie, man. I really seriously do, man. So there is a lot of stripper-style movies out there. Hell, there's even more that I probably didn't even mention, man. There's a lot of them. A lot of movies that fell on the sword for Magic Mike. Oh, they truly did, man. But to be fair, it was kind of worth it, though, because Magic Mike that first movie, still to this day, is a phenomenal film, and I watched it 3 times in the movie theater. Once with one of the chicks I used to work with a long time ago, one with Bob, which was a very weird and odd experience being in the movie theater with my fellow straight male watching men strip. That was really weird. And one other time, man, it just was fucking weird, dude. But so enjoyable, and the characters and the scenarios, and I loved it all, man. And I kind of felt like each installment has sort of lessened it a bit. It really has kind of watered it down, man. Still good, still impressive as far as the dancing and the stripping and the physiques and all that jazz, but I don't know, not nearly as enjoyable, at least for me. That first movie is such a phenomenon, and everything else just kind of has aped off it, but not done it nearly as well. And I'm just kind of curious if this really is the last one. I mean, this movie didn't make a lot of money at the box office, not nearly as much as it could have made, so maybe this is the end. This is the last of the Magic Mike journey. And I gotta admit, if it is, at least Channing Tatum went out in somewhat of a blaze of glory, man. I mean, he got to work with Steven Soderbergh on this film. He came back to direct it. He's in peak physical condition. He gets to have hot sex with Selma Hayek, which, hey, if it's my final film and I get to have sex with that chick, consider me a very lucky man. I mean, seriously, man. I mean, but who knows where the stripper subgenre is going to go next? Who knows who's going to pick up the mantle? But whoever does, Magic Mike has paved the way for the next person, just like all those other movies paved the way for Magic Mike. Hey, it ain't easy being a stripper. There's all kinds of complications to it. And Magic Mike proves that if you look good and you can dance well, hell, people will buy anything that you're selling. You bet your ass they will, baby. You have Magic Mike's new moves featurette and deleted scenes. Not a lot. It would have been nice to have seen a commentary. Steven Soderbergh talking why he came back. The final movie in the Magic Mike franchise. Sure, why not, man? You know, look, I am all for a good, entertaining movie. I don't care whether it's a horror movie. I don't care whether it's a drama. I don't care whether it's a romantic comedy. I could give a shit, man. As long as you're entertaining with engaging characters and an entertaining storyline, I'll bite, okay? And Magic Mike had it at times. Sometimes he didn't, but for the most part, I give Channing Tatum a lot of credit. He really put himself out there. He was dancing his heart off, and he was looking good doing it. And my girlfriend definitely appreciates it. Yeah, about that. If anyone has a gym membership I can borrow, that'd be great, because honestly, I really need a trainer badly. My gut really tells me that if I don't get 6 packs and abs soon, I'm gonna be single very, very fast. Maybe I can paint them on. Maybe my girlfriend won't even notice. Boy, if only. Oh, you're asking me to marry you? Well, what are you offering? 'Cause if you're just offering the movie, I might just say yes. Oh, with maybe I do. The DVD for $17.99. Not bad for a lot of old pros in old school genre. Oh, you bet your ass, baby. Oh, man. As I said earlier at Walmart, I loved this movie. I loved all of the old school actors having a ball with their roles and just really feeling like a great old school romantic comedy from back in the day. And let me tell you something, man. It's not that I can't like some of the newer shit, because I can. I do. Okay? But it's the old stuff that really still lights a fire under me, man. Things like Sleepless in Seattle or You've Got Mail and so many others out there that I've loved, man. When Harry Met Sally, which is so good. Murphy's Romance from back in the day with Sally Field and James Garner. If you've never seen that before, that is so fucking good. Oh my god, I love those old school ones, man. And the way that this movie makes me feel is the way I wanted to feel with Ticket to Paradise. Man, I wanted Ticket to Paradise to really give me that old school romantic comedy vibes, man. I wanted to feel just transported to those old days of watching those movies and loving those characters and laughing at the scenarios. But I felt so much cringe watching this movie, where this movie I was so entranced by. And I just love the chemistry and the charm with this movie. And it just takes me back to those old school films in such a big bad way, man. It truly does. I mean, movies that are absolutely wonderful, like Father of the Bride 1 and 2. They're so fucking fantastic. They're classics. I love these movies, man. Look at The First Wives Club. The First Wives Club is great. Those ladies are wonderful, and I love the hilarious scenarios and the revenge plot and finding love again. I love that shit, man. That's great. Those movies are wonderful. The Family Man, great. I love The Family Man. That is amazing and awesome. I mean, you even look at movies like The Holiday, which to a lesser extent is pretty good, all things considered. It's not as good as some of the old school stuff, but it's still pretty good for what it's worth, man. Yeah, no. Yeah, no fucking way. No way at all, man. Fuck that shit. But there is other ones that are better. Trust me, there's a lot of ones that are better, far better. I mean, even talking about Meet Cute, which was really fantastic. I loved that movie. That movie is phenomenal, man. Notting Hill. Notting Hill is still to this day incredibly effective. The love story is gorgeous. The characters are relatable. I love the story between them, and the chemistry is so fantastic. I love that stuff, man. Pretty fucking Woman. Pretty Woman. So good. Man, Richard Gere knows how to make a good romantic comedy movie, man. Well, so does Julia Roberts. Right? To be fair, definitely does, man. I mean, come on, Pretty in Pink. Pretty in Pink is wonderful. Oh, come on. It's an 80s classic. I love that movie. I mean, there's so much really great, wonderful, great old school romantic comedies. Even Sabrina, the newer one, and even the older one. Both of those are really phenomenal. I love those movies. They're really great. Of course, Some Like It Hot. As I mentioned, Sleepless in Seattle is... Oh, God, I love Sleepless in Seattle, man. I love that shit. That is great. Of course, they said When Harry Met Sally While You Were Sleeping, which is a great one with Sandra Bullock, man. That's phenomenal. I love that one. So good, and there's so many more. I mean, even Tootsie, which is fantastic. I love that flick as well. There's so many great romantic comedy movies out there, and there's so much more. It's just stuff that I grew up with, stuff that I loved, my mother loved, and I watched with her, and those old school ones still to this day are so infectiously entertaining and engaging, and you just fall in love with the story all over again, man. And that is ultimately what I love about Maybe I Do, man, because it reminds me of the old school stuff in the best way possible. It truly does. With the old school actors and the hilarious scenarios of he's up with her and she's up with him, and oh, they got together and they don't know, and now they're all getting together and they were strangers, and now, oh my God, their children are dating. And all the crazy, wild, hilarious complications, man. And I love that stuff. And, you know, look, I'm an old school movie lover. It's the stuff that I grew up on from back in the day, man. And sometimes I see a movie that really reminds me of that, reminds me of those old ones that I loved and cherished that I grew up on. And it ain't movies like Ticket to Paradise that do it. It's Maybe I Do. And it's phenomenal. Guys, if you love old school romantic comedies, this is the movie for you because it is just so damn good, man. And it makes me fall in love with romantic comedies all over again. It's not perfect, it has its faults. What movie doesn't? But at the end of the day, it truly gives me those really great old school romance vibes. And for this boomer, especially some of the movies nowadays that aren't cutting it, it's movies like this that remind me why I love movies in the first place. Because if you get a good cast, you get a great story, and you actually have some charm and chemistry within the film, all the entertainment is absolutely possible.
Don't fuck with Sam Worthington in Transfusion. Well, it's probably one of the only movies I wouldn't fuck with him in, because quite frankly, the rest of them, yeah. I'll mess with you all you want, you ain't doing shit.
But this movie, he is one badass motherfucker, indeed he is. The Blu-ray digital for $22, not bad for good old Barnes & Nobles for what it's worth, man. But, well, will anybody bite and actually buy it? Well, see, that's the thing, because Sam Worthington, does he really deserve your money necessarily? With this movie, yes, he kind of does, because he's really fucking good in this movie. But overall, I'm not so sure, man. He's average at best. I mean, let's be real. Terminator Salvation sucks ass. Alright, Terminator Salvation is fucking terrible. And he had a starring role in that motherfucker, and that did not help out his career whatsoever. He was also in Clash and Wrath of the Titans. Clash is not bad. As far as a remake is concerned, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. Wrath is not so hot. Wasn't really all that good. I mean, literally, if it wasn't for Avatar, he would be nothing. Nowhere, no how, nada. Seriously, man, he lucked into that like a motherfucker. In fact, there's a really great interview with Matt Damon, how James Cameron wanted Matt Damon to be in the movie. Most likely probably being the Sam Worthington role, I'd imagine. And he couldn't do it because he was working on one of the Bourne movies, and they were starting to shoot while they were in post-production, and he had to be around. And I mean, he literally said no, and then of course Avatar becomes the biggest fucking movie ever, and Matt Damon's like, yeah, I fucked up. You kind of did, Matt, because honestly, look, Sam Worthington is good in the Avatar movie. There's no doubt about it. He is good in there, man, but I kind of feel like he's good because everybody else around him is good, so he kind of had to pick up the pace a little bit, man. But I mean, other than Avatar, what can you really say is good? Man on a Ledge? Seriously? Because I watched that shit in the movie theater, and yeah, I don't remember it being all that good. I really don't, man. Honestly, all he's been doing since Avatar is basically either these shitty action movies, which aren't really good, or these straight-to-DVD flicks that are really forgettable. I mean, Sam Worthington is not really all that great of an actor. I mean, you can have straight-to-DVD movies that have an actor in them that can really elevate the material, like a Nicolas Cage, for instance. I mean, those movies are not exactly winners, at least not all of them, but Nick Cage makes them winners. And you need an actor that's going to really do an entertaining job and really make that movie shine past its straight-to-DVD nature. Sam Worthington just doesn't do it, man. Like I said, he's a copy of a copy of a copy. That's what he is at the end of the day, man. And if it wasn't for these Avatar movies, because again, Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5, I mean, dude's getting paid crazy amounts of money to be in those movies because he was in the first film. And those movies are going to make bank, billions of dollars. Not because of him, but because of James Cameron, because of the technology, how stunning the movie looks, you name it. He's sort of an afterthought, if you really think about it. Look, I think every actor deserves their fair shake, their fair shot, and some get more opportunities than others. I think Sam Worthington has had enough of them. I truly do believe he has, man. I just don't think he's done a lot with it. I think a lot of the movies he's been in are clunkers, and the ones that are kind of good are not really good because of him. Prove me wrong. Seriously, folks, prove me wrong. I want you to, because I can guarantee you, you're not going to be able to, man. Look, when all is said and done, when the Avatar movies are all done and everything is all out there in the ether, what else is Sam Worthington really going to do, man? He's going to go back to straight-to-DVD movies. He's going to be the straight-to-DVD action guy that Jean-Claude Van Damme is, that Steven Seagal is, that Dolph Lundgren is, that all these other actors are. He's just not unique anymore. In fact, I'd argue he never really was. There will be movies like Transfusion that will be really well done and really showcase him in a really great way, not only his dramatic chops, but action and how badass he can be, but those will be few and far between. Most likely we'll get movies like Man on a Ledge or Terminator Salvation, which honestly fall flat on their fucking face. Sam Worthington deserves love like anybody does, but, well, if you fall enough times, it's hard to get back up. Hey, at least he has the Avatar movies, and, well, that's all he's got. Classic movies getting 4K love yet again. Don't mind if I do in Rebel Without a Cause. Oh yes, for $34. Good old classic James Dean love. I think that's pretty well worth it. Oh, indeed I do, man. Goddamn, man. Boy, Warner Brothers keeps on putting out the 4K appreciation, baby. Indeed they do, and Rebel Without a Cause absolutely deserves it, man. This is a classic. Absolute. No doubt about it. Classic piece of cinema. It really truly is, man. The performances by Natalie Wood is fantastic, and James Dean. Rest in peace, James Dean. This guy had so much talent, and he died way too soon, man. He never really ever truly reached his full potential that he could have, man, and it's so tragic. And it's movies like Rebel Without a Cause that really remind us how great he really was, man, and how so much more he could have done in this world, and how missed he really is, man. It is a phenomenal movie. I love it. It's so well acted, so well directed. It really is a phenomenal piece of cinema. There is no doubt about it. If you call yourself a movie lover, a cinema fan, a film aficionado, whatever it is, and you have not seen Rebel Without a Cause, then all of those titles you don't get to have. You need, at the very least once, to watch Rebel Without a Cause, because if you don't, then I don't care what you call yourself, but you certainly can't call yourself a movie fan, nor can you call yourself a movie lover, because there are certain movies, I've always said this, that are essential to your viewing experience, ones that you have to watch, because if you don't, you're missing out. And Rebel Without a Cause is absolutely one of them. There's a reason why it's a classic. Watch it, and you damn well find out. Oh, indeed you will, man. Powerful, with one hell of a performance. Man, so damn good. Oh, truly it is, man. 4K love for some classic cinema. Let's hope it keeps continuing. Here's looking at you, Liam Neeson, yeah. So, the DVD of Marlow for $30. Well, if you want to solve a crime, $30 is pretty cheap. Oh, you bet your ass it is, man. Now, this is aping off of old school noir films, and as I said earlier, I like me a good noir film. I truly do, man. And there's some really old school great ones out there. The Maltese Falcon, Nightmare Alley, Double Indemnity. Those are fantastic. Even a little bit of Criterion love. Indeed it is, when we're talking about none other than Robert Mitchum, Shelley Winters, Night of the Hunter. Oh yes, man, this is a phenomenal fucking movie, man. and a pretty goddamn good noir film at that, man. Really fucking fantastic. I love that movie, man. So there is a lot of really great noirs out there, man. There truly is. Old school ones, black and white cinema for all you young kiddies out there that don't get into the old school cinema, even though you ought to, man. There's a lot of really great ones, a ton more that I never even mentioned, man. A lot of ones that are really great old school Hollywood cinema. And that's all well and good, but there's also some really great modern ones which are just as unique and just as interesting and have definitely become classics in their own right. Like Chinatown. Yes, now you're thinking, wait a minute, that's the 1970s. That's not modern. Okay, fair enough, but it's still classic. Come on, man. It still really is. But what about a movie like Brick? Yes. That's a really good movie, man. Definitely noir vibes in that. You think of a comic book style movie like Sin City. That definitely has noir vibes to it. Come on, it definitely does. LA Confidential, which is fantastic. Blood Simple, the Coen brothers. That's one that definitely has noir vibes to it as well. Of course, we can't forget a little bit of David Lynch love. Of course, well, noir vibes. David Lynch is all about noir vibes, baby. Movies like Mulholland Drive, anybody? Abso-friggin-lutely, man. Strange as David Lynch might be, he still gives the vibes of noir every once in a while, man. He truly does. I mean, you have stuff like that. You even have it in some sci-fi gems like Dark City. Dark City, even though it's a very weird sci-fi bendy type of film, that definitely has noir vibes to it. Hell, even The Big Lebowski, folks, has it, man. Yeah, it does. Come on, admit it. It really does, man. Hell, you think of movies like The Usual Suspects and so many more, man. There are some really great movies that have the noir vibes to it, that bring it back in a very modern way. And you definitely got to appreciate that, man. Some do it better than others, but you definitely have to appreciate the noir vibes and trying to bring back an old school cinematic idea in a unique and interesting way. Oh, truly, man. And I wish Marlow could have done the same, man, because I love old school noir movies. I love those type of vibes to it. The outfits and the murder mystery and meeting up with the damsel in distress or the mysterious blonde and all the complications that go along with it, man. I love all of the aspects to a noir movie, and Marlow has them all, but it just doesn't quite do it for me, man. It doesn't. It feels like it's going through the motions but not really actually pulling it off at the end of the day, which kinda sucks, man. Look, I love Liam Neeson. I love Diane Kruger. Jessica Lange, always phenomenal. But this movie just kind of feels like it's aping off of older and a hell of a lot better noir films that did it way more successfully than this film will ever attempt to do. I think you could make a really great Marlow movie. This just isn't it, man. Look, nowadays, audiences have seen it all, right? From the old school cinema to a lot of the new school stuff. You really need to hit them with something unique and outside the box, something that's going to captivate them. Even look at a movie like Seven. Seven is a phenomenal movie, and there's a lot of noir vibes in Seven. Fair enough, there really is, man. Again, you have to spin things in a new and unique way so an audience can be attracted to the genre yet again. Marlow doesn't do that. It's just tried and true, which is not bad, but tried and true in this case tends to be flat and boring, which kinda sucks, man. Look, I will always love noir movies, the old school black and white ones, even the new school modern takes. I love them all. But, as I said, some succeed better than others, and some fall flat on their face. And Marlow is one of those movies that appreciate the effort, but didn't quite pull it off, man. But then again, how many recent Liam Neeson movies have actually done the trick? Yeah, not many. Well, at least it tried for what it's worth. Didn't pull it off, but well, no, not even an A for effort. Yeah, I'm not even doing that. It is what it is. But trust me, folks, you can find a hell of a lot better noir films out there. I named a hell of a lot of them. Watch those. And to be fair, leave Marlow behind. You'll be better off, trust me. Interesting indeed. We've got the new release Detective Love. We've even got, oh yes, the 4K James Dean appreciation. And some more new release love to top it all off. Oh, not half bad, baby. Definitely pretty goddamn solid here for good old BNN. You bet your ass, baby, it is. I'm definitely appreciative. Not half bad. I'm definitely loving it. Let's head out. You know I'm all about that good old physical media appreciation. And I'm damn glad that Barnes & Noble agrees with me. Oh, bet your ass they do. Not bad, baby. Not incredibly crazy amounts of plentiful like some weeks happen to be, but they do have all of the new release goodies I was hoping for, and, well, hey, that's all sometimes a good physical media lover really needs when they're doing the out and about of love. Absolutely, man. Not half bad, all things considered. How they even got a little bit of good old James Dean goodness to satisfy the urge as well. And they've got a little bit here, a little bit there. And, well, as a physical media fan, I can spend hours here just literally looking at all of the artwork and all of the different titles. You just don't get this type of appreciation anymore at most stores, and at least you get it here. I can't say the prices are always phenomenal, but hey, you get shelves and shelves of physical media love. And on top of that, new releases too to show off. So that's why I come in here, folks. Oh, indeed I do, man. So they satisfy the itch yet again. Damn glad for it, and I hope you are as well, man. Pretty good at most of the stores, I'd say. Pretty damn solid, mostly. So how about we head home and finish the video? Alright, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD. Out and about video this week, and it didn't turn out half bad, right? Not bad at all. Some places got their act together. Others kept up on the physical media goodness the way they should. Yeah, people started to do their due diligence on physical media like they should. And I definitely digged it. Not bad. Yes, some places weren't spectacular. You know who I'm looking at. But hey, for the most part, it is what it is. And we saw the physical media love, and we explore some unique and interesting titles, and quite honestly, that's all that this fanboy can really ask for. Let's be fair, man. So, not half bad overall. Some really great releases we're talking about. Hopefully, you ended up picking up something good. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, I got a thing or two. Oh, indeed I did, baby. Let's dive into what I got. So, at Walmart, well, the first Walmart, I ended up showing off a really unique and interesting movie that I said I was kind of interested in, and so I decided, well, if I'm interested in it, might as well at least give it a chance, and I decided to order it from Amazon, of all places. Got it right on release day, just like I wanted. Well, I don't know about more Shudder love, but this one I think deserves at least a watch, and that is none other than Scare Package 2, baby. Yes, look at that. Rich has revenge, man. And like I said earlier at Walmart, I gotta admit, I really loved that first movie. I thought it was pretty goddamn solid. I was really thankful to get it from a subscriber, and so seeing this, and I'm like, okay, it's a sequel. I'm down for this. I can't wait to check this thing out, man. So I wanted to give it a chance, man. If it's half as good as what the first Scare Package is, I think I'm gonna really like it, man. I think so. I'm willing to give it a chance. Let's hope it delivers the goods. Let's hope indeed, man. Not half bad for a little bit of Shudder love. Pretty goddamn decent, man. But, oh, that's not all. Because I decided I had to pick up a hell of a lot of titles from Diabolic, man. Because, you know, there's so much stuff coming out there's so many releases from so many boutique labels out there that at a certain point you kind of get lost in the shuffle. And everything is coming out week to week, and so many things are happening. And at a certain point, you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to get this stuff at some point. It's going to happen. I just got to wait, right? I got to get more income. I got to get more money. I got to save up. And some of these titles were ones where I just had to save up, man. I just had to just at one go on Diabolic, just order them all together, man. And that's what I did. And they all came in great condition, thank the Lord, and finally is entering into the collection. And, well, why not start with a little bit of Kino Lorber goodness? And, oh, by the way, adding more John Malkovich to the collection ain't half bad either when we're talking about making Mr. Right. Oh, yes. A man with a good warranty is hard to find. Quite honestly, yeah, we suck with the warranties, ladies. I apologize. Cars are better than us. Cars come with better warranties than men do. I hate to say it, but it's the truth, baby. Oh, man. This movie, dude. I watched this back in the VHS days, dude. I mean, seriously, I did, man. And I'm kind of shocked that this ever got any type of release from anybody, especially Kino Lorber. But it just goes to show eventually everything is going to come out one way or another. And I guess this is one of them, man. This is a weird movie, man. Basically, it's about this guy that creates this robot that looks like him, and this woman falls in love with him, and all the crazy complications. It's kind of nutty, man. But it is kind of hilarious. And I watched it at a right time when I was a certain age where I just kind of went with it. And I really enjoyed it. And so, yeah, when they announced it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll have it in the collection. It'll be a part of it, man. So, while that is getting a release, but it's actually not bad. I do kind of like it, man, for what it's worth. So, I wanted it. Why not, man? Why not indeed, dude? Oh, very nice to have this. What a blast from the past that one is, man. But this one is definitely a classic. A great classic. And when you have Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier in the same movie, oh, you know it's going to be good. And that is none other than The Marathon Man. Oh, yes, the 4K love, baby. Damn, Rory Scheider, William Devane. This is a great movie, man. In fact, the first time I ever found out about this movie is when Bravo had that 100 greatest moments in horror. There's this really great documentary out there. I watch it every single October. It's something that's kind of become a religious experience for me every single year, man. I just have to watch it and just remind myself how awesome that is. And one of the moments is from Marathon Man. And I was intrigued by that way back in the day. And like a lot of horror fans who watched it, they searched different titles. And this was one of them that I searched, man. And I thought it was great. I loved it. How this old German Nazi who is in America, his diamonds got stolen, but something else did, and he thinks that Dustin Hoffman is the one that took them, or he knows that maybe his brother took them, and he's trying to find out information from him, and Dustin Hoffman is just being terrorized by this guy and all the people around him, and it is phenomenal. It is creepy. It is scary as fuck, dude. It's really good, and I've always loved it ever since I found it, and there is the Blu-ray out there. I could have gotten the Blu-ray, but when Kino announced the 4K, I kind of wanted it, man. I really did. It has some really tense moments, dude. Let me tell you something. That moment right there when he's drilling into his teeth, yeah, something about going to the dentist just makes you really uneasy now. Yeah, they're really shocking, dude. But it's really well done, and man, is it just one hell of a movie, and I'm glad I finally have it on 4K, man. Not half bad for that, but we're switching gears because I love me some scary movies. Obviously, I do, man. But sometimes scary movies doesn't come from slashers. Sometimes scary movies doesn't come from mass killers. Sometimes it's from a boyfriend that is so fucking evil and twisted and manipulative that getting rid of him ain't easy, man. And when you're talking about Mark Wahlberg, yeah, that motherfucker is damn near impossible to get rid of. Have you guys seen his abs? Good luck trying to get him out of the way, man. Especially when we're dealing with fear. Oh, yes. Together forever. Or else. Oh, my God, man. I remember when I saw Fear the first time. Because you're thinking about pretty boy Mark Wahlberg, right? Marky Mark, man. And you're thinking to yourself, man, who the fuck is this guy, man? Fucking terrible ass rapper. And, dude, he ain't shit. And you watch movies like Fear and you're like, damn. Like, he's really good. Like, he's fucking terrifying. Like, oh my God, man, I did not want that guy coming to my front door or even dating my daughter. Fuck that, man. So, like, hell, dude. And so, man, this movie, like, just really cemented the creep factor in the biggest, baddest way, man. I love Wahlberg here. I love Reese Witherspoon. It's such a great fucking movie, man. God, it's so good. And Mark Wahlberg is so fucking sketchy and scary as hell, intimidating. Man, it's so good. Fear is easily one of Mark Wahlberg's best films, dare I say, man. It's fucking awesome. And Mark Wahlberg really doesn't do horror, really. I mean, some people wouldn't even categorize this as horror. Some people would call it like a thriller or something. And yeah, I guess you could, but it definitely is in the vein of horror at moments. And man, it's just so good. Like the scary boyfriend and how he just won't go, man, and how he just literally entered into your life and you just can't get rid of him no matter what you fucking do, man. And damn, this is one of those movies where it just gets under your skin, man, how scary somebody can really be if they're just on the edge, man, if they're just pushed to it. It's so good, man. And, you know, there's been many editions out there. This is yet another Blu-ray edition of Fear, but it comes with this really great VHS looking slipcover, which I always love from great old Mill Creek. I mean, Mill Creek isn't the best, but sometimes I do want to buy from them, and this is one of them. Look at that. Oh, so good. Man, this is great. And I've always wanted Fear in the collection, and I think this is an edition worthy of picking up. I think it is indeed, man. Not bad for a little bit of scary Wahlberg love. You don't always get that, but when you do, damn, is he terrifying. He really is, man. And then we're heading back to the Kino Lorber love, because why not? And this one, I definitely wanted to get. It was on the list because if you remember, I got Death Wish 3 from Ronin Flicks. They're exclusive. I got Death Wish 2 from Vinegar Syndrome. And I guess now with Kino Lorber, to add to the Death Wish love, why not get the original? Oh, yes, with Death Wish. Vigilante, city style, judge, jury, and executioner. You bet your ass Bronson is, baby. Oh, man, so good. The original that started it all, man. I love the Death Wish series, man. I love Bronson. He is one badass motherfucker, man. And when I was talking about the movies this week and talking about Liam Neeson and everything, and the action roles that he's done, you can't help but think of Bronson, man. You can't help but thinking this guy that completely changed his career by doing these really tough, badass roles, you know, taking down punks and killing them, man. He made a whole fucking career out of that shit. And Death Wish was one of the ones that really started it all, man. And he's so good in this. I forgot it was from like 1974. That's wild, dude. It's so good. It's so entertaining and so kick-ass. And I love Bronson. And man, I just love all the punks that he kills and takes down. It's just so epically entertaining. And man, dude, Bronson is one fucking badass motherfucker. It's so great, dude. And I'm glad to have it in the collection.
I'm really glad to have it, man. I own now Death Wish 1, Death Wish 2, and Death Wish 3. Eventually, maybe somebody will release Death Wish 4 and 5, and when they do, I'll probably get it. But in the meantime, I got the Death Wish trilogy, and I'm a pretty happy man. I just had to buy them in backward sequence. I had to buy 3, and then I had to buy 2, and then I had to buy 1, and at least I got the damn thing. At least I did. And more Death Wish ain't half bad. Ain't half bad indeed, baby. But there's one more thing to get, okay? And this is a title that when MVD announced it, I damn near flipped. Because I was like, holy shit. God, I've been wanting this in the collection for so long. And to finally have a chance to get an edition of it where I don't have to pay through the ass on eBay is always worth it. And that, oh man, talk about teenage comedy hijinks. Finally in the collection, having a little bit of The Last American Virgin love. Oh yes, baby, look at this. This is so great. This is so epically awesome to finally have this in the collection, man. Now, this movie actually got released by Arrow years and years and years ago. And by the time I found out about it, it was already out of print. And I would go on eBay and I would look at the prices, and the prices were skyrocketing. They're massive. And I'm like, oh my God, do I really want to pay that much for The Last American Virgin? I mean, I love the movie, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't know. And so it was always sort of complicated, and I sometimes was so close to buying it, but I didn't, and I was at my wit's end, because I thought, goddamn, man, ain't nobody gonna release this shit. It's gonna be obscured in like, you know, out of print hell for God knows how long. Until, lo and behold, MVD took care of me, man. Thank God, dude. Look, I love this movie. Teenage, coming of age, romantic comedy hijinks, man. This is one of the best. It really is. I love The Last American Virgin. I love the sexual hijinks. I love the characters. I love the quirkiness. I love the comedy, the humor. It's so good, man. And I watched it way back in the VHS days, and it always sort of stuck with me. I've always wanted it in the collection. I've always picked up, when I get the chance, you know, old school 80s and 90s sex comedies. I love those type of movies, man. I mean, whether we're talking about newer stuff, well, newish, the 90s, stuff like American Pie, or going old school back with Porky's and everything like that, and everything in between. And I love those type of movies, man. And The Last American Virgin is one that I definitely want in the collection. It's one of those really great sex comedies that is just utterly entertaining, absolutely engaging, and just fun as hell. And I wanted it, man. So I finally got it. Thank the Lord, man. Patience eventually pays off, and at least I didn't have to end up paying those crazy wild eBay fuckers, because, man, if I had to pay them and then found out this was coming out, yeah, was not going to be happy. But thank God, I finally got my copy with the good old Slippy love, and very, very happy indeed. Not half bad, man. Not half bad for the physical media love. A little bit of Shutter goodness, Kino Lorber, Vinegar Syndrome. Ooh, yeah. I think it was a pretty good week for me. And before I let you guys go, I gotta talk about this, and I suppose it was gonna happen eventually, right? I mean, we are in 2023, especially since it's kind of been waning for a while, but it still stings, man. From MovieWeb, Netflix to stop mailing DVDs, marking the end of an era. Let's dive in, shall we? Sad, but very true. Netflix will be saying farewell to the DVD by mail business, making the full switch over to streaming and officially marking the end of an era. Of course, while the majority of Netflix subscribers preferred to stream their content, there remained many who continued to rent movies in a more old-fashioned way, with the DVDs coming in the mail, a service that was what helped launch Netflix in the first place. But times have changed after a quarter of a century, as Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos announced in a blog post that the company is officially abandoning DVDs. The final disc will be shipped on September 29th, 2023. After an incredible 25-year run, we've decided to wind down DVD.com later this year, Sarandos said in part on the blog post. Our goal has always been to provide the best service for our members, but as the business continues to shrink, that's going to become increasingly difficult, so we want to go out on a high. Sarandos continues, those iconic red envelopes changed the way people watch shows and movies at home, and they paved the way for the shift to streaming. And we feel so privileged to have been able to share movie nights with our DVD members for so long, so proud of what our employees achieved, and excited to continue pleasing entertainment fans for many more decades to come. The executive also notes how this method of shipping DVDs straight to consumers allowed for people to binge watch through entire shows years before that would become a commonplace on Netflix's streaming service. Sarandos also gives credit to how the success of the DVD by mail business had even gotten them started with developing original content, which began as red envelope entertainment titles such as Sherry Baby and Zach Galifianakis' Live at the Purple Onion. To everyone who ever added a DVD to their queue or waited by the mailbox for a red envelope to arrive, thank you, Sarandos concluded. It's not the surprise of the century to see the DVDs going away, however, as chances are many subscribers may have already presumed that had already happened. That part of Netflix's business is dwindling rapidly, with THR reporting that the DVD by mail earned the company revenue to the tune of $239 million in 2020, $183 million in 2021, and $146 million in 2022. With $32 million earned in the first quarter of this year, another big fall was expected, and it would seem that this is all mounted up as the writing on the wall for Netflix to pull the plug. Still, the streaming service isn't going away, obviously. The company has reportedly added 1.75 million new subscribers during the first quarter of 2023, putting them up to 232.5 million total subscribers. So as one service is ending, another service is continuing to thrive. Somewhat, some way, somehow. Of course it is. Goodbye, wonderful Netflix DVD. We loved ya. Fortunately, it was never gonna last forever. I only wish. I only wish indeed, guys. Oh, man. Okay, so, look. I'm not gonna lie. I actually still have the Netflix by DVD mail service. True story. I actually do, guys. And it's going to be really sad to see the day when that is no longer, when it is done, when it is over. That is going to hurt right here, man. If you remember, guys, that back in, 2017, one of the things that I started the channel on was the Netflix nights. And I would take the DVD by mail service and I would watch them and I would review them for you guys. If you remember that, that's what I started with, man. And eventually I kind of left that by the wayside, but man, I still was renting stuff from the DVD by mail service. I still am to this day. Actually, there's a Nicolas Cage movie that I just got by the DVD mail service that I've got to watch, man. I'm dead serious. I ain't lying, man. So I'm still using it. Seriously, though. I still am, man. And I know a lot of other people are, but it really is true, man. The service isn't getting any better. They're not getting more people. They're losing people every single year rapidly. And so the trends are not pushing towards that way anymore. I mean, do I blame Netflix for this? No, I don't, because at the end of the day, Netflix has to do what makes sense. And cutting out this part of their business, especially now, kind of makes sense. It hurts me because I don't want to see it go, but at the same time, I get it. If something isn't making you the money, and if it's not gaining you anything and every year losing more subscribers for the service, you can keep it, but how long until it just becomes this sort of dead appendage that you're just sort of dragging along? And that's what it feels like at this point. And look, the truth is that Netflix has nothing to be ashamed about. They kept this service going on for way longer than, to be honest with you, they had any right to keep it going. I mean, they literally took Blockbuster out of the equation by doing this. They literally took this huge giant, this Goliath, and tore it down by this service. So, in some ways, they beat Blockbuster at their own game. Don't hate the player, hate the game, is what I'm saying, man. And so, in some ways, I give a lot of credit to Netflix for continuing it, for being this pioneer of doing that. Way before Redbox, way before a lot of those things, it was Netflix that was doing that stuff, man. And other people have just copied them. But now, I think a lot of the time and energy spent on this can maybe be spent in other avenues. Now, maybe you guys are shocked that I'm saying this. Maybe you guys are like, oh my God, you're the physical media guy. You're the guy that really advocates for this stuff. You're saying it's a good idea that they're getting rid of this? And to be honest with you, yes, because, look, at the end of the day, Netflix by mail was a great idea for a long time. And now with all the streaming services that are happening, with all the Disney Pluses and the Paramount Plus and all of the things on Apple TV and Amazon Prime, and I could go on, all of these companies are just investing everything into their streaming programs, man. It's just all or nothing at this point. And at a certain point, Netflix has to continue that trend of putting all of their effort into this, man, to stay afloat and survive and keep content flowing as much as they possibly can. At the end of the day, I can't blame them for putting those efforts and that money elsewhere. And I'm also not gonna lie, man, because this service has started to wane. There have been times where I literally have gotten DVDs in the mail where it is so scratched, it is so fucked up that I'm like, dude, this thing ain't gonna play in my player. In fact, if I put it in my player, it might fuck up my player. So I was like, you know, they're just continuing to hand out scratch discs and defective product, and I think a lot of the consumers probably felt like, dude, I could just go to my local Redbox, or I might as well get streaming anyways. If it's that cheap of an option, I have all the stuff at my disposal. Do I really need to just wait 3 or 4 days to get something in the mail and then watch it and have to end up literally sending it back out, and then that takes another 3 or 4 days until they get in the mail, and then another 3 or 4 days to get another thing, and it turns into a hassle really fast. Now look, I've never minded it, but we also have to understand that we live in a world of convenience, and people want things now, like yesterday, and so it was becoming a little tedious for people, most likely, and they decided, look, I'm out. I'm gone. It's been fun. It's been real, but the good days are behind us. And I just think that continues to start doing it, especially post-COVID. Because you got to understand, man, that if we're talking 2020, 2021, 2022, that the biggest thing was the fact that people were staying home because of the pandemic. And to send something back and forth to a post office and whatnot, and them sending something out to you, it wasn't the easiest thing. Streaming was far more easier for people to just stay home and stream whatever content they wanted, and they didn't have to go out and worry about mail service or anything like that, right? Okay, fine. But by doing that, because of the pandemic, it did end up slowing down the DVD by mail service. It just did. That's the reality of the situation. And you've got to present that as an option, man, because the pandemic changed a lot of things, and that is one of them. And look, at the end of the day, I am a loyalist. I am somebody who loves movies. I love physical media, and that's never going to change, guys. But I will freely admit to all of you that the days of physical media being a rental option, I think we're slowly going to be losing that over time, man. I mean, we don't have the blockbusters anymore. Well, okay, we have one blockbuster, which is pretty much used for people to spend, sleeping nights in or some shit, right? I mean, yeah, I guess they still rent shit, but it's more of like a nostalgia trip more than anything else. We don't have the family videos. We don't have the Hollywood videos anymore. We have Redbox, but yeah, how popular is Redbox, man? I mean, it has its fans, don't get me wrong, but if we were to really look at the numbers, if we were to really dive into this, is Redbox ultimately as successful as maybe they claim to be? I'm not sure, man. And so Netflix sees the dwindling numbers. They see probably a lot of the trends that are changing. And they probably decided that we got to end this now, because I'm sure those discussions were had many years ago to cut it loose. And I'm sure they kept it going because they had a decent enough fan base and loyal subscribers to keep it going. And then once the pandemic happened, it just changed the game. And I'm sure they were having these discussions last year. I'm sure even the year before that they were having those discussions. And I think they held off as long as they possibly could. And they just couldn't hold off any longer, and this is the end result of it, man. I mean, is this a crushing blow to physical media? Yes and no. It is, because it's really the last great DVD by mail service out there. Because there's really nothing else like it anymore other than Redbox, but that's not even DVD by mail. You literally go to a Redbox, you pick something up, you walk out the door, you go to your car, and that's it. This was really unique for what it was, man. And so for it to end like this is losing something unique that was part of the physical media fascination. So that is crushing. But at the same time, with the waning of it and the idea that it wasn't really bringing in any new people, it was losing more people every single year, and the fact that it was just kind of limping and dragging along for the past few years, I think if you get rid of it now, at least you go out on a high note, as one of the co-executives and the co-founders ended up talking about. You leave on a high note. You say, hey, look, man, we really revolutionized this service. We really revolutionized Netflix. We really brought it to a whole new group of people and really brought a whole new idea and concept to the masses, and we can really end this on a really great note and really say goodbye forever and just make it final and celebrate it for what it is, instead of ending it a few years from now and it's limping even more and it's just complete dead weight. So I kind of feel like this is the perfect time to say goodbye to it, to end it, to say this was real, it was fun, it was great, we had wonderful times, but it's time to go. And I'm okay with that, man. It's not that physical media is ending, okay? This is not a sign that physical media trends are going the way of the dinosaur. Boutique labels are literally hitting it incredibly big, man. Massive amounts of sales. Disney is basically saying, hey, we want to bring physical media back. We want to talk to these companies about maybe licensing our stuff out to them, etc., etc. Sony is still making PlayStation 5s that have the physical media components in them, the players, the drives. So physical media isn't going anywhere, guys. Okay, this is just a subset of a physical media trend, which unfortunately is no longer viable in 2023. And that's the truth of it. The truth is that streaming is so popular, is so supreme, is so big that doing DVD by mail service anymore might have made sense even 5 years ago. But now, with digital trends really racing forward and technology really taking leaps and bounds, that just isn't much of a reality anymore as it used to be. And so we're here. This is where we are now. This is the end of the line. And so I'm going to miss it. Dude, I still am doing it. And I am going to continue this service all the way till the end of September. I am going to be that guy, man. I'm going to continue to rent DVD by mail services and continue to have it, man. And you know, I'm happy to. And I kind of want to see it to the end, man. I've had this service for a long time. Since I first subscribed to Netflix, I've had this service many, many, many moons ago. And so it'd be kind of weird to sort of cut and run now when it's only going to be around for a few more months. I'll enjoy it while it lasts, man. But it is just an end of an era. And it's kind of sad, but that's the reality of the world, man. That's the reality we living in. And, you know, stuff that was once popular is now dying off. And it's just a shame. And it's just a crushing shame just in the idea of kids that are growing up now are never going to see the world of DVD rental stores. They're never going to get a red Netflix mailer and pop out a DVD and watch it. Like, they're never going to have those options, man. It's never going to be a reality. And it sucks, man. It just really does, dude. And it just breaks my heart, man. It really does. There's so many great old school things that have gone the way of the dinosaur. And I guess we're now here with the DVD by mail service from Netflix. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I just knew it did. And I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And every year when it didn't happen, I was kind of like having a little bit of hope where I'm like, okay, maybe they're just never going to get rid of this thing. And, well, finally the other shoe did end up dropping. And, well, I guess it was about time, man. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that it's about time that they end this service? That, you know, it's been a good run. It's been a great run, actually. But I think they see the writing on the wall. They see where the money is heading. And to continue supporting this when every year you're losing more and more subscribers to the service, at some point, it's just not viable anymore. And if you're gonna get out the door with it, at least do it with some sort of pride. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And I can't quite blame them for that, man. What do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? Are you gonna miss it? I know I am. Just saying, man. Definitely let me know, man. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other videos that are out there. The other Blu-ray DVD out and about videos, the Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, unboxings, the movie reviews with my friends, all the old school content and newer content that is slowly but surely coming your way as well. I want to thank my great subscribers out there. You are amazing and awesome. You show me so much love, and I'm just so appreciative of the comments and you watching all the video. It's just warms my heart, man. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You really give this channel the life that it really deserves, and it keeps me going in a big bad way. So thank you so much, man. So if you like how I talk about movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. Also hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every single time that I make a video, and keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram and Facebook. FilmFan108, keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And, oh, by the way, if you want to send to the channel any movie-related goodness, posters, care packages, physical media, you name it, you can do that. The P.O. Box is in the description below. It is not expected, but it's definitely appreciated. I know you guys have gone out of your way to send some amazingly awesome stuff to me, man. It has been a great ride, and I really am curious as to see where it's going to go, if it goes anywhere. If you guys don't want to send anything, that's fine. You don't need to, but hey, I love seeing where it goes, and I love getting great stuff from you guys, and I'll be curious to see where it goes next. I really will, man. So if you want to send anything, you definitely can, but I suppose that is it for the video. It's been fun. It's been real. We came and saw physical media, loads of it. And I guess we'll come back next week. I suppose we will, man. Stay tuned, and I will see you next time for a brand new Out and About video. Take care, everybody, and remember, happy hunting.